Someone make it make sense.
Probably a couple.
Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? What a day. I just was downloading all the new documents and it's not just documents. There's acts on body cam. There's all kinds of stuff. Anyway, a bunch of new stuff for Idaho v. Koberger. And literally it was like, I was just waiting for the minute for it to finish because I didn't know that was happening anyway. But then I saw something about it on YouTube and I was like, wait, what? And then anyway, so that's why I pushed back the stream, downloaded this. So I've got everything and I kind of got to peruse through some of it. And it's some interesting stuff. So welcome on in, guys. Welcome to, let me see who else we got here. Super Planner Girl, SPG. We got Mary in the house. We got Twiz. We got Miss Mojo. We got Northwest. We got, did I say Happy Annie? Got Mittens, ABCs. Wonderful. What a day is right. Big day. Here's the other thing. So did you guys may have heard or seen or whatever that we got a verdict today in this case, right? It might be the fastest verdict that I've ever seen in a trial that I can think of. And so if you guys don't know how long the jury deliberated for, feel free to put some guesses in the chat because it will be fun. It will be fun. So welcome to everybody. Is Twiz here? Did I see Twiz? We got everybody here though, pretty much, lots of people. So welcome on into everybody, trying to get everyone's commands. Twiz says no. Okay. I didn't even text you though. That's crazy. You made it on your own. You're on another one. Is this for wildfires? Happy Annie? Oh my God. Northwest is that's great. I love that. 12 counts, took time to fill out paperwork. That's the other thing. There were 12 counts, right? Do you guys want to throw? I know Northwest knows how long they deliberated for. Anyone else want to put 45 minutes? Close. It's a little bit longer than that, but it is 12 counts, as Northwest said. A little bit longer than that. Well, as per usual, so Happy Annie's got natural disasters in her area, and as always, we're glad she's here so she can let us know that she's okay. Northwest says, "My lips are sealed." Love it. Oh, you watched the whole thing? You watched this whole trial, Mary? Wow, that's awful. Was this a natural one or was it started from dumb people? So yeah, so we got this verdict. We got the documents, all kinds of stuff going on. There was also, some Karen Reed stuff going on, all kinds of things. So it was an hour and 17 minutes that the jury was out for, like start to finish. That includes the filling out of the paperwork and like all the, like when that verdict came out for Murdaugh, everybody was freaking out. And I think up until now, that was one of the quickest verdicts. Like people would still comment on it, right? And that was like 2 hours and 2.5 hours for that. And everybody was like, that's like the fastest verdict ever. And it was only he had the 2 counts of murder and then the 2 counts for using a firearm in the commission of a murder or whatever. So 4 counts total in 2.5 hours. And so this was an hour and 17 minutes with 12 charges. So a hydro pole fell. What is a hydro pole? Yeah, this is a dismemberment guy, but he's really special. If you saw the thumbnail, I mean, it's really, this is very, very, very unique. So the dismemberment is like I guess, the crime part of it, but it's not what makes this case it's like the least interesting part of this case, I would say. Yeah, so the new docs actually, from what I've seen, have nothing to do with Brian Covert. Like, they're not even, like, it doesn't seem like it's even about him. It's about all the other weird shit that was going on, or like, I mean, I just kind of tried to look through, like, there's like, one of the things I looked at is like this, like, dude that I think is probably got to be like a little bit, mentally unstable. Like, this crazy dude, like, emailed, like, the Pullman Police Department like a bazillion times with like all this crazy shit. And like, I found his LinkedIn profile. And I was looking at that and like shit, like it's just crazy, like crazy shit, but not necessarily or even at all related to Brian Covert. But interesting, entertaining. Oh, interesting. Do they call it a hydro pole here? Maybe that's the Canadian term, a pole that carries electricity to your house. I think we just call it a pole. What do we call it? Light pole. Yeah. Twiz, did you see the one I was just referencing with the dude that says he's an attorney and all that? That's wild, man. Oh, see, when I think hydro, I think water. Oh my God, I did see the text about Glenn. You know what you got to do? I didn't have time to text you back because I got those. I was at work and I forgot to text you back later. I've been slammed. But you know what you should do is you should put those in the Discord, because I'm not in the Reddit spheres, but I know there's many scrolls who are. And yeah, like this needs to go in the Discord so people can troll him. Our Glenn, he's infamous. Yeah, I know. Crazy. Absolutely fucking crazy. That is wild. And wasn't somebody else commenting on how he's like obsessed with Wendy? I mean, you can't make this shit up. Can't make this shit up. Right? ABC's, oh Lordy, not Glenn. Just to celebrate this moment. Let's do this for Glenn. Y'all. Glenn. Where is it? Here it is.
I have that skirt.
Twiz, are you going to come on tonight? We're long overdue for Twiz bits. But y'all, he's writing a book. Yeah. Didn't he say it was going to be like a New York Times bestseller? I just don't even. Guys. See, the thing is, so y'all that are Canadians, which is awesome because you guys got it going on. I don't know. I mean, I would imagine we maybe use that in the US, but not even, I don't think we even use that in North Carolina. So yeah, like hydroelectricity generated from water. Great. It's a brilliant idea. I don't know that we use that. Do we use that in the US? I mean, again, I don't think we use it in North Carolina at all. You were going to, but now you can't. Oh, Hoover Dam. Okay. Dams. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we have any dams in North Carolina. But Twiz, if you get into a position to come on, that would be awesome. So we do Twiz bits. Twiz bits. So where we left off here in this insanity, also welcome on in, Doug. We're towards the end of the victim's mother's testimony, and it was right. I remember when I stopped the stream last night, it was right about to take a turn, and I don't remember exactly what the context was, so I backed it up a little bit. But I was like, oh shit, okay, I think she's about to see some documents, so let's take a look.
Like a company, Apis, they're from somebody at Apis.
Oh, right. Okay, now I remember. Apis Limited. So she's being presented with, let me back it up a little further. These are supposed to be emails from the quote unquote security detail, Apis Limited or whatever. Okay.
Emails have a quote to and from on them.
Yes.
And can you tell us from whom those emails are received?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I think my glasses are kind of clogging up. And okay, yes, I'm sorry. So they're all to my personal email, and it's like a company, Apis. They're from somebody at Apis Limited, and okay. Apis Limited, which we assumed was security, and And then one, a Proton email
Okay.
security, I guess.
Okay. And did you know what Proton email was?
No.
Okay. And when you received those emails, are those a fair and accurate printout of what you
Yes.
sent? Okay.
Absolutely.
Are they modified in any way other than those red stickers on them?
No, ma'am.
Your Honor, at this time, I would seek to introduce those emails. That would be, thank you.
Any objection? Objection.
At this time, I'd like to publish them if we can turn that on. Thank you. Can you see that on the monitor in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. And in that subject line, it says no subject. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on the top right, does it have an email?
Yes, it's my Gmail account.
Okay. And is the body of that email the email that you received?
Yes.
And does it have a date there
February the 22nd,
of 2023?
2023, sorry.
Okay. And that email, was that the one that you just indicated had the apislimited.com? Is that what you're referring to?
Yes, apislimited.com.
Okay. Did you actually know Jones M.J. personally?
No.
Have you ever met that person?
No.
Did you know who that was?
No.
And this email, what was this email in reference to?
They're responding to our request to see Nicholas when we said we wanted to see him, and we didn't care if he was in a coma. We would sit with him and hold his hand
Right.
and talk to him.
Is that after you had been informed he was in the car accident?
Yes.
Okay. I'm now, that for the record is 1.87. I'm now turning to
You guys remember
exhibit.
what happened immediately before this was it was, they were, the victim's parents were told that Nicholas, they were told from the quote unquote security detail, right, that he'd been in a bad car accident and then he's in a coma and then that he died. And then it was right after this, the mother said that they got an email that he had died, right? That she walks over and presents her with these emails that are supposed to be from the security detail. So
1.88. Does that also reflect your email address on it?
Yes, it does.
And is there a subject line in this email?
Update.
And who was that from?
the subject just says update. Oh, wow.
The security department, Apis Limited,
And what date was that?
February 26th.
And on that date, what was the notification that you received?
They were sorry to inform us that Mr. Kassotis passed away.
Oh, my God.
So you got a death notification by email.
Yes.
Did you ever speak to anybody in person about his passing?
No.
Did anybody come to see you and talk to you?
No.
Did anybody call you?
No.
Did you talk to his parents?
No, I did not.
I'm now turning your attention to 189, where pointing to the top half of this email. Do you have a date on that email?
April 19, 2023.
And are you one of the recipients of this email under the CC?
Hold on just a second here. I'm sorry. Yes.
Okay. Did that go to somebody in addition to just you?
Yes.
Okay,
It
before
was-
we answer this question, so yes. So Cassie asked, who are the people posing as security? And I said, no one has ever seen them before. So one could say imaginary people. And then Amanda asked, is this claiming the defendant had died? The email, yes, correct. And remember, the subject line said update. The subject line said update, and the content, the body of the email said that he'd passed away. Is that the defendant? This is the victim's mom. The defendant is the dude in the thumbnail with the glasses. You'll see him. They'll show him. So yeah, so here we are. So somebody CC'd on the email, apparently.
My husband, and I'm sorry, this isn't a real clear.
If I can, Your Honor, may I approach and provide the witness with the
Here it is. Sorry about that.
Oh, Twiz.
Yes.
Twiz. Twiz. If the defendant is dead, why are we here? He's not dead. He lied. He said he was dead. Well, he pretended to be the security detail and emailed the victim. Maybe there's so much that happened before this moment that I don't even know how to catch Twiz up. Hey, Northwest, can you help summarize for Twiz? I don't even know how to even do it because there's just so much. I don't know how to do it. Yeah.
Did you and your husband reach out to the security, what you believe to be the security team in connection with your housing?
Yes.
What was your concern?
We were just wondering what was going on because no one had told us much of anything. So
So at this point, in April of 2023, would it be fair to say that you believe that Mr. Kassotis and your daughter had already passed?
yes,
And his security team was still paying for your housing at that point. Is that correct?
3 March, yes.
Okay. Did they ever respond to you and Mr. Mevin, your husband?
Oh, I need my ticker.
And I'm pointing to the next portion of this exhibit.
Yes, April 20th.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that they were attempting to make accommodations for you,
Yes,
even though he was gone
yes,
and she was gone?
yes.
I'm now pointing to the lower portion of the next email, starting at the top of I believe that is 1.90. Is that correct? The exhibit in your hand. It starts with telephone texts from the Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
Oh, yes, yes.
Okay. Who did you reach out to on May 2nd of 2023?
And I obviously misspoke a little while ago and I thought I didn't, but yes, we did. We said, hey, we've been contacted by them. Like we said, we were still under the impression that they were both dead and security was, we didn't know. So yes, we said we've been contacted and.
Okay. And did you also at some point speak to your son,
Okay.
Frank IV, about all of this?
Frank.
I'm sure I did.
Okay. Did you inquire and look up Agent Sands to verify him?
Yes, well, at least, yes, the Statesboro office, yes.
Okay. And ultimately, that's when you saw him in person at your office?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. On May 3rd of 2023, did you receive a response from new no names at proton.me?
What? Hang on. Did you guys hear that? New no name. Hold on. Wait. Is someone supposed to believe that's somebody's?
On May 3rd of 2023, did you receive a response from new no names at proton.me?
Yes.
What did they say?
All they really wanted to know was who was the family member that had a communication.
Oh my God.
They wanted information from you.
Yes.
They didn't give you any information?
No.
I thank you.
I'm crossing hands.
Did Mr. Kassotis explain to you ever over the phone any communications, what had happened after Mindy passed and before he was dead?
He called us one time in, I want to say late January or early February.
What did he say?
We were just talking about different things. He had told us that he was going to meet his real mother. That we were told that he was adopted.
Oh my God. Now he's adopted too. Why does he just have to add everything in? Now he's also adopted. He's going to go meet his real mother.
Stolen or something, and so when we left in December.
Hold on,
he was
hang on. He was adopted or stolen or something. Only in this fucking trial.
That he was going to meet his real mother. That we were told that he was adopted or stolen or something, and
I mean,
he's a lawyer.
I just didn't mean to click that. I just backed it up on accident. I'm just flat. I like. When making up a lie that you were adopted at birth or whatever, and you're going to meet your real birth mother, when that's not enough. I mean, I wonder how many times anyone has ever made up this lie for like not even any actual reason. Like there's no benefit for this at this juncture, right? Stolen at birth. I mean, I know it's something that has happened in real life to people, but in terms of making that up, it's not even like he was being confronted with who's your real mom. Like it doesn't even, it's like just lying for lying's sake. So where were we? We're probably about here. Let me just see here. If this is about where we were.
3 March, yes.
Okay. Did they ever respond to you and Mr. Mevin, your husband? And I'm pointing to the next portion of this exhibit.
I think maybe I went too far. Oh no, we did hear this. Okay, right. Okay, we did. We saw this. Okay, good. We're in the right spot. Right, dead. Okay, there's Frank. Response. Okay. Okay, here's where we were. Stolen at birth.
That he was going to meet his real mother. Then, we were told that he was adopted or stolen or something. And so when we left him in December, he was going to meet his real mother.
It's really crazy.
Did you expect to see him after speaking to him that one time?
Yes, he said he would like come to see one of Matthew's games.
For anyone who like AKA Twiz, there's the defendant right there.
Okay. Did that ever happen?
No.
When was the first time that you learned that Mr. Kassotis was not dead?
Oh my God.
When Agent Sands visited me in my office in Savannah.
Oh my God.
Was that surprising to you?
Yes, we were talking about Mr. Kassotis, and I said, you probably don't know, but he died several months ago. And
Oh my God.
Kind of gave me a sad look and said, no, he's not dead.
Can you imagine her?
That's
Like,
fine.
I'm sorry. Can you imagine her? She's meeting with the GBI and informing them that he's dead. Can you imagine how this must have felt when she's delivering them this news, trying to help them, and then when they tell her this isn't real? Like, can you even I cannot fathom. It would be at that moment that you're like, wait, hold on, everything is a lie. What is real? Which way is up? Like at that, like, oh my God.
Do you?
Yes, we were talking about Mr. Kassotis, and I said, you probably don't know, but he died several months ago, and he just kind of gave me a sad look and said, no, he's not dead. That's when I learned that he wasn't.
Unbelievable.
Now, when you sat down and you spoke with Agent Sands, did he ask you to provide him with a DNA sample?
He did, and I agreed.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that's just a Q-tip, basically, that swabs on the inside of your cheek?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you do that voluntarily?
I did.
And you provided that on the day he came to see you?
Yes.
Just so we're clear for the record, do you see Agent Sands here in the courtroom today?
Yes, he's sitting beside of you.
Okay, the record can reflect she's pointed to, or she's indicated him. Prior to Agent Sands coming to see you, had you heard about the unidentified woman in Riceboro, Liberty County?
No.
Did you know that there was somebody out there?
No, I didn't.
So why did she think the GBI was even talking to them? So here's the thing. I was literally just asking myself this question. I was thinking to myself, wait, so does she already know about the body being found, or the parts of the body being found? Because the GBI is like talking to them, and clearly there'd have to be some reason, right? Like, I'm like thinking, oh, I guess they already informed her about this, but no, she didn't even know. So she finds out in the order of events here, she finds out, both her and the dad find out that, well, they thought Nicholas was dead. They find out that he's still alive before they learn, apparently, that their daughter's remains have been, I mean, I guess at this point, they wouldn't really have even known she was, okay. They were told she was dead by Nick, right? But anyway, so they hadn't learned about the remains yet when they found out that Nick was still alive. I'm going to back it up a second. Also, Candace, Mary made a point about the cartoon weasel. I'm doing a Google search. I'm trying to find which weasel you're talking about. Does this weasel have a name? Because there's apparently a lot of different cartoon robber weasel people. So is there a specific one? Because I'm looking it up. All right. Wow.
Prior to Agent Sands coming to see you, had you heard about the unidentified woman in Riceboro, Liberty County?
No.
Did you know that there was somebody out there?
No, I didn't.
Wow.
And at that point, did you even have a reason to think that that might be Mindy, if you had known?
No.
Right. So the reason GBI was investigating this because obviously, right, they already had all this, but she didn't know. So they hadn't disclosed to her yet why they're talking to her and that they had found the remains and all that. And I mean, I guess too, you know what, also, because they were probably waiting to get that DNA from her to do a confirmation, right? With the buccal swab. I bet that's what it was, because they had the DNA from the remains and they were using IgG, and then they had just asked, just what, a minute ago in the testimony, they asked for her DNA. And I guess, I mean, that would make sense to want it to be confirmed for, 100% before telling them that this is how your daughter is dead and this is how she's found. And oh my God.
I'd like to approach the witness with 1.8.
Welcome on in, you folks.
Do you recognize what's depicted in that photograph?
Yes, pictures of my daughter and then one picture of her with Mr. Kassotis.
Oh,
Are
God.
those all fair pictures of actually her and him? You recognize them?
Yes.
And at this time, I'd seek to introduce 1.85.
Any objection?
Okay.
Okay, it's admitted.
At this time, I'd like to publish them.
Another thing too, I was thinking about as to why this trial is like super fast paced. Has anyone noticed that there's
And all the time you knew Mr. Kassotis.
there's very few objections and there's like no sidebars. I mean, we haven't watched every single witness, but with most trials, you don't get through a witness without multiple objections. It's like, and so far there's been very few objections. I think maybe one that I've heard. But anyway, and like no sidebars that I've seen. So that just, it's really interesting, right? Because when she was mentioning this photo, I was thinking, oh, I wonder which picture this is, because this is probably objectionable on some ground, right? Even if the objection would get overruled, it's like, oh, this seems like a time to object, right? Like in any other trial, there would be an objection there, and there wasn't one.
Did you ever know him to hunt?
No.
Okay.
I have nothing further.
Mr. Kolesnik.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mebane.
Okay. Sure.
My name is Doug Weinstein, and I'm representing Mr. Kassotis in this case. I'm going to endeavor to not keep you up here much longer.
For anyone who is just now catching up on this trial and wasn't here with us last night, Doug Weinstein, you might recognize him from the YSL, Young Thug RICO trial.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Let's talk a little bit about your daughter, Mindy.
All right.
Okay. So, Mindy was quite accomplished, correct?
I believe so, yes.
And a very intelligent young woman.
Absolutely.
And you said that your relationship was very close, correct?
Yes.
And Mindy would have no reason to lie to you.
Not that I'm aware of.
And you said that Mindy was in genuine fear for her life, correct?
Yes.
They were moving all over the place, correct?
From what I was told, yes.
From what you were told by Mindy, correct?
Yes.
And Mindy had told you that she and Nick were in danger, correct?
Yes.
And as you said, you believed Mindy.
I did.
And you said Mindy is not a gullible woman.
No.
Or was not, I'm sorry, a gullible woman. When Nick and Mindy got the place in Savannah on, I believe, 65th Street. They at 65th Street, correct?
Yes.
They invited you and your husband, Frank III, to move in with them, correct?
Yes.
And may I just ask, why did you move in with them?
Yeah.
Well, we love them for one thing, and we either needed to get our own place, which we were happy doing, or then when they said, that they'd have room for us and they'd like us to, we said okay.
And you say that you loved them. Were you and your husband, Frank, close with Mindy and Nick?
I feel like we were, yes.
Regarding the claim that Mindy was pregnant, that was Mindy that had told you that, correct?
I'm not sure exactly who told us, but I know Nick talked to us about it also.
Nick also told you, but Mindy as well told you. They both had told you that she
I
was
believe
pregnant.
so, yes.
So how he's handling this on this cross, right, is trying to highlight things that she learned, not just from Nick, but also from Mindy, to try to validate that these things were realistic, right? Because it's like, well, it wouldn't be plausible that Mindy would also be imagining all the same delusions or whatever. You know what I mean? That's, I think, what he's trying to get at. Anyway, oops.
You say that you saw Mr. Kassotis doing computer work all the time, correct?
Yes.
Where would he, I know they moved in several places and you saw him working in several places. So for these questions, let's focus on 65th Street.
All right.
Where would Mr. Kassotis do his work on 65th Street?
He would sit on the couch in the living room just to the right of us as you came in the door.
And when you say do his work, this was his work on his computer,
Yes,
correct?
computer work.
And as you said earlier, you never saw the work that he was doing on the screen.
No, I did not.
So you can't testify as to what was going on the screen while Nick was working, correct?
Correct.
You say that you had never met the security team that was supposed to be protecting Nick and Mindy, correct?
That's right.
But there were certain actions that you would perform at Nick's behest, correct? So for example, I think you testified that one day Nick urged you to not go to work.
Yes.
Did he explain to you why you couldn't go to work?
He just said that there was something big going to happen or going to be in the news, and he thought it might be dangerous for me to go to work that day.
So did it appear to you that he was concerned about your safety that day?
Yes.
So I was trying to spin that, right? I mean, what else are you going to do? Like, first of all, yes, the rabbits on the tie, I love it. I adore it. But, he's trying to say like, oh, like that wasn't just some fabrication for some elaborate plot to whatever, did it seem like he was concerned about you, cared about your safety, and that's why he didn't want you to go to work. I mean, yeah, that's what you're working with, right? Is you're working with, like they say, it's like they talk about when you got bad. I mean, it's like, this is one of the cases that, I mean, dude, not easy to be a defense attorney for this defendant.
When did you tell your son, Frank IV, that Mindy had passed?
I believe it was the day after we were told that she had died. They were actually on a cruise, and so I'm sure I ruined the last night of the cruise for them.
They being
Frank IV and his wife Megan.
So you weren't present. You didn't tell them in person.
No,
you told them while they
no.
were on the cruise ship.
That is correct.
Again, trying to make it seem like it's normal. You don't have to relay that there's deaths in person, right? Like basically trying to normalize the whole email thing. However, there is definitely a difference between a phone call and an email, right? Also, they were on a cruise ship, so they couldn't have gone and seen them in person. Had they not been on a cruise ship, I bet they would have told them in person. But considering they were on a cruise ship, the next best situation was over the phone. So, but again, he's doing what he can. Can't blame him for that.
How did he respond?
Shock.
Why do you say he responded with shock?
Objection, Your Honor. I'll know his thoughts.
Well, she said that it was shock. I'd just like to know why she believed it was a shocked response.
I'm pretty certain that anybody who has told that their sister has died when she's 40 years old and in relatively good health would be shocked.
Yeah.
When you said that you don't believe that Nick Kassotis was a hunter, do you have hunters in your family?
My son Matthew hunts some, but that's it.
What kind of hunting, as far as you know, does Matthew do?
Did you use 300 blackout?
I don't really know. I'd have to guess.
Well, I don't want you to guess at any of my questions, okay? So please don't. I know you testified about a couple of times that you and Mr. Kassotis were in contact following your move to Hilton Head when he left.
I believe one time.
And he reached out to you.
Yes.
Did he reach out to you over Signal?
I don't recall.
Is that the normal way he would communicate with you?
Yes.
And when you communicated with him, you would communicate to him via Signal as well?
Yes. Occasionally we did, and we emailed, but it was mainly Signal.
Did you ever attempt to reach out to Mr. Kassotis after he had helped y'all move to Hilton Head?
No, I don't believe so.
I don't know if you recall this, but let me ask. Do you recall if Mindy had ever told you that she and Nick were planning on leaving the area?
Did Mindy tell me
Did
that?
Mindy tell you that?
I don't recall if it was Nick or Mindy. I don't recall.
But one of them had told you that they were planning on leaving the area
Yes.
prior to, I withdraw that. Did Mindy ever tell you that they were planning on changing their names due to security concerns?
Yes, they did. Mhm.
Did she, when you say they, was it, I want to try to be more specific. Do you know which one or both?
I believe it was both, and I think we were all sitting down at dinner one night because they told us they'd chosen the name Stark, and we all kind of laughed about it, being in the Avengers. So,
Oh my God. There
Thank
it
you very much. I have no more questions. I'm very sorry for your loss.
is. And trying to normalize the name. Oh, there's another.
You referenced signal several times. Is that a voice or a text?
text.
So you didn't talk over the phone, you just texted back and forth?
Yes,
Okay. So every time that you referenced the word signal, was that a physical text
a
message?
physical text message.
Okay.
Yes.
And when you spoke with Mr. Kassotis, you said the one time after Mindy had passed, was that a voice message, like talking to him on the phone?
Yes, it was on the phone.
Okay. So that was the one time it was on the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
It wasn't signal.
Just to be clear, how did they move when they needed to move? Their things? How did they move their belongings?
Oh boy.
They would just pack up, and I'm trying to think if they had a vehicle, but
I mean, so the mom here, it seems like didn't automatically know exactly what the prosecutor was after with that question, but I know what she's after. What she's after is, did they use big tubs? That's what she's after with that question.
yes, I think they had a truck maybe or something like that.
Were there baby items?
Only maybe if like I had given them something or.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Oh, baby item. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. It's good.
Okay. And with that, we are on to the dad, which you might think, oh, is some of this going to be redundant or whatever? Like, actually, believe it or not, there's all kinds of new craziness that we learned from his testimony. It's wild. So let me pull this up. A second. Okay, here we go. Oops, 1 second. Okay.
State calls Frank Nevin III.
Frank the third.
Good afternoon, sir. Please raise your right hand.
Do you swear on the testimony that you are about to take will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do. Please have a seat, sir.
Good afternoon. There's a microphone right in front of you, so if you could try to, as best as you can, speak to that microphone.
Okay.
Okay. Can you please tell us your full name and how you spell it for the court reporter?
Frank, F-R-A-N-K, Mebane, M-E-B-A-N-E, the third.
And Mr. Mebane, if at any time you don't understand a question, please just let me know and I'll try to stop and rephrase it for you, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Mebane, do you work right now?
No, I'm retired.
Okay. What did you do before you retired?
A lot of different things. You want to know all of them?
What was the last one?
Oh.
I was a financial advisor
Okay.
for 6 years.
Okay. And before that?
I was a minister for 22 years.
Okay. And as a minister, was that in addition or was
He was a minister for 22 years. That made that for me is like, okay, things are making a lot more sense now. I mean, not from the defendant's end, but the fact that he was a minister for 22 years, that gives a lot of context for the benefit of the doubt that was given, and the trust. This family is fucking weird. Yeah, I would agree.
is that your primary job?
That was my primary job.
Okay. And in those two professions, you've now stopped doing those. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. As a full-time work is what I mean.
Yes.
Right? Okay. And are you currently married?
Yes, I am.
Who are you married to?
Betsy,
And how long were you two married? Or have you been married?
47 and a half years.
Okay. Do you have children?
Yes, we do.
How many children?
We have 3.
What are their names?
Mindy, Frank the fourth, and Matthew.
Okay. Oldest to youngest?
Yes.
Okay. And are you close to your kids?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Do any of them still live with you now? Or have they moved out?
They moved out.
Okay. Matthew being the youngest, he's also already out of the household now?
Yes, he is.
Okay. Is there a time when you met Nicholas James Kassotis?
Yes.
Here we go.
Can you tell us how you met him?
Our daughter, Mindy, introduced us to him.
Okay. And did they ultimately get married?
Yes, they did.
Do you remember where they were living when they got married?
In Mount Vernon, Virginia.
Okay. Did you visit them there?
Yes.
And when you visited them there, do you recall, was that a house or was it a an apartment? What kind of a place was it?
It was a house.
Okay. Do you know who owned the house?
Was it a house or was it a mouse?
I believed it was Nick.
Okay. And she moved in with him to his house?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know what happened to that house?
Not exactly, no.
Okay. At some point, did they ever move out of that house?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And what was Mindy doing, if you know, for a living while she was living up in Virginia?
Well, she graduated with a master's in public service or something like that. And she was working for different, like, nonprofit.
Okay.
I think it was the last one, or I know if the name was KKR.
Okay. And at that point, do you know what Mr. Kassotis was doing for a living?
He was in the Navy, worked at the Pentagon.
Do you know what his title was in the Navy at the Pentagon?
You mean his rank?
If you know his rank.
No, I know he worked for JAG.
Okay. Do you know if he was an attorney?
Yes,
Okay. And when he was in the JAG in what branch of the service you said?
Navy.
Do you know if he remained in the Navy after they got married?
I believe so, but I'm not sure exactly when he left or not.
Okay. So you know at some point he did leave. You just don't recall exactly when.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, I 100% need some Z's. I mean, the thing is both these parents could not actually articulate what their daughter got degrees in. Like, I think they said two different things, but they're like not sure about it. And like the mom, I remember when the mom was on the stand, she wasn't even sure if she did a master's degree. And then like when asked about what she did for work, it was like, I don't really know. And then, you know, that's their own daughter. And then asked about his position. It's like, how do you not know? I mean, it's a, you know, the thing is like, it goes beyond not asking questions, because there's things that you learn even if you don't ask the question, right? It's like when you live with somebody and they're your immediate family, you don't have to ask what they do for a living to learn just by way of being a human what they do for a living or what they went to college for. You know, it's just like basic shit. Like you just learn from existing. It's just very odd. Very odd.
When they got married, he was in the Navy at that point?
I believe so.
Okay. Did there come a time when you and your wife started to live with any of your kids?
Yes.
Who did you live with?
We lived with Frank IV and his wife.
Okay. That would be Mindy's younger brother?
Yes.
Okay. And where did you live with them?
In Hilton Head,
South Carolina?
South Carolina.
Okay. Where are you from originally?
Florida.
Okay. And by way of Florida, you wound up in South Carolina with them?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know approximately when you moved in with Frank and Megan? If you know.
There's
Around
I'm
2016.
honestly, the Frank is said too many times to count. I didn't really think that Frank would be in the lead. I mean, I've missed a ton of them, but like, I don't even know that I can keep up with the Frank. I might just have to kind of guess every couple minutes and add like 20 more on.
I believe.
Okay. And at that point, did you stay with them for quite a while?
Yes.
Did there come a time? Well, let me back up for a second. Why were you living with them?
Well, my wife had been laid off from her job in Augusta, and I was still working as a financial advisor, and she was laid off, and she came down to Savannah and got a job the next day. And so she started living with them, and then that's when we decided we would move in with them.
Okay. So was she working in Savannah then?
Yes.
Did that make it more convenient?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And being a financial advisor, did that allow you some more flexibility?
Oh, yes.
Okay. And you said that was in Hilton Head, is that right?
Yes.
When you were living with Frank and Megan, at any point did any of your other kids move in?
Yes.
Who moved in?
Mindy and Nick. And of course, Matthew was with us because he was in high school.
Okay. So for a while there, it was Mindy, Nick, Matthew, you and your wife living with Frank and Megan?
Matthew wasn't there. By that time, we had moved.
Okay. So at some point there were some overlap.
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall, you said, I believe you moved in with them in approximately 2016, meaning Frank and Megan. Do you recall when Mr. Kassotis and your daughter Mindy moved in with them? If you recall.
It had to be 2022.
Okay. And at some point, can you tell us, were you living there with Frank and Megan the whole time that Mr. Kassotis and Mindy were there?
No.
Okay. Was there a period of time that you moved out of that location?
Yes, Matthew and I moved to Dublin, Georgia.
Okay. Why did you go up to Dublin, Georgia?
Because he was going to be a senior in high school, and he played baseball. And with the COVID, they weren't going to play baseball in Hilton Head, but they were going to play in Dublin, Georgia. And so we moved to Dublin so he could play.
Okay. When you say we, who moved up to Dublin?
Matthew and I did.
Okay. And where did Mrs. Betsy stay?
She stayed with Frank IV and Megan at their house in Hilton Head.
Okay. And do you recall how long you were up in Dublin with Matthew?
I had a lease for at least a year, so I think it might have been like 13 months.
Okay. At some point, did you come back down from Dublin?
Yes.
And did Matthew join you?
No, he was in, by that time he had already started college, junior college.
Okay. So Matthew heads off to college and you moved back down to Hilton Head, is that right?
Correct.
Who was living with you when you got back down to Hilton Head after Matthew went off to college?
Frank IV, his wife Megan, their little girl Harper, and Mindy and Nick.
Okay. Was your wife there too?
Yes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. So at that point, were there any pets in the house?
Yes.
What pets?
They had Rusty. Mindy and Nick had Rusty.
Okay. Did there come a time when you left that residence? Meaning the one in Hilton Head with Frank and Megan?
You mean after I came back from Dublin?
After you came back from Dublin, you said you stayed there for a while.
Correct.
Do you know how long that was approximately?
With all of us there?
Mhm.
Maybe 5 months, 6 months,
Okay. And at
maybe a
some
little bit longer than that.
okay. So at some point you said it was about 5, 6 months, maybe a little bit longer. You're in Hilton Head with Frank and Megan. Is that right? Okay. And Mindy and Mr. Kassotis are there too. You and your wife.
Correct.
Okay. What caused you to leave?
Well, I took Matthew, the younger son, to play baseball in Illinois for the summer.
Okay.
And when I was up there with him, that's when Mindy and Nick moved out of their house, and I came back, they were gone.
Okay. Do you know where Mindy and Mr. Kassotis moved to when they left Frank IV and Megan's place in Hilton Head?
At first, they moved to a hotel that my wife got for them.
Okay. And did they go anywhere after that, if you know?
They went to another hotel, and then we went to 65th Street in Savannah.
Okay. Now there sounds like there was a fair amount of moving going on. Is that right?
Correct.
Do you know how
I mean,
the belongings got moved?
a fair amount of moving is just such an understatement.
When people were moving about?
I know Mindy and Nick.
It's just you never see anything like this. The number of times that these people moved, but like the entire fucking family and the frequency, it's just, I don't know. They basically could be gypsies, essentially.
The tubs, big
What-
black tubs.
What kind of tubs were they? Can you describe them for me?
Oh, and there's the
Like
tops.
big tubs that you put stuff in for like Christmas decorations.
Tubs.
Big, I don't know how big. I mean, they were big tubs.
Okay. And you're making
You
some
know, like the ones that are in that same courtroom. And for any of you guys, did y'all see those huge ass cardboard boxes every now and again? When, depending on where the camera is, you can see these huge ass cardboard boxes covered in tape. The tubs are in there. So, I mean, we could just get the tub out. Anyway,
with your hand approximately as wide as my hands are. Is that correct?
Correct.
and no
Would you say
job.
about 3 to
Yeah.
4 feet.
Yes,
Okay. And they were tall and deep.
yes,
That's about maybe 2 or 3 feet.
Tall and deep.
Okay. And they would move their belongings in those tubs. Is that right?
yes,
So there was not a moving company, was there?
No.
Okay. And not moving boxes, but rather these tubs.
correct.
Okay. Now, when you moved from Hilton Head, you said down to Savannah, did there ever come a time when you left the hotels and wound up in a more permanent type of place?
Yes, that was a house on 65th Street.
Okay. And how did you come to be at that location, the house?
Mindy and Nick found it, and I went over and loaded them up from the hotel and moved them into the house.
Did they have a car at the time?
No,
Okay. And you said you loaded them up. Did they have tubs at that time too?
yes,
And-
along with Rusty. I'm sorry.
Okay. So they didn't leave Rusty behind, right?
No.
Okay. So do you know if Mr. Kassotis was working at that point?
Yes, I thought he was.
What
He
did you
was-
think he
He
was
was on
doing?
his computer.
Okay.
Working long hours.
Okay. Did he tell you what his work involved?
Not exactly. No,
Okay.
we knew he was working on something that was secretive.
Okay. Did he tell you that?
Both Mindy and Nick did. Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see what was on his computer screen when he was working?
No.
Did you look?
No, because I knew I wasn't supposed to.
Okay. When you say you weren't supposed to, who told you that you weren't supposed to?
I just knew that it was secretive, and maybe that's my background. I'm not inquisitive.
Okay. And at that point, that was at the house in Savannah?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a
Was
question.
Mindy working?
I have a question. I don't know that we learned the answer to this in this trial. Northwest, let me know if we've ever learned the answer to this. Do we ever learn what he was looking at on his screen? Now, there is something that we're not going to spoil that's going to come up really soon here with the next witness. But I think Northwest, you know what I'm referencing. And I can't imagine that that particular thing that I'm referencing is the thing that he was doing all the time for however 10 hours a day, every day for years, right? So what do you guys think? Nobody ever saw his screen. What was he doing all the time on the computer? Yeah, that's the defendant right there, Twiz.
No.
Do you know why not?
No. Health wise, she couldn't work, but also that there was a way for her to work. I mean, she didn't have a computer, and she was at the house the whole time, so there really was no way to work.
Okay. Had you ever heard any information concerning their safety being at risk, that being Mr. Kassotis and Mindy?
Oh yes, all the time.
Tell us about that. What happened?
Well, it was way back before they even moved out of Virginia. We were told that they had people who were after them, and that they had to be very careful what they were doing and where they were moving, and you had to be cognizant of everything that was around you at the time to make sure that nothing was, no one was following us or anything like that.
Was Mindy afraid?
Oh yes,
Did you believe she was afraid?
yes, very much.
Okay. And when she was at the house in Savannah, did she go out much?
No, I never saw her outside.
Okay. What about Mr. Kassotis? Did he go out?
He would go out at night or go out in the backyard to brush Rusty, but that was about it.
Did he have friends over?
No,
Did you have any company that ever came over to the house?
no.
Now, did you ever hear reference to a security team?
Oh, yes, all the time.
Tell the jury what you heard, what was told to you.
Well, they told us that there was a security team that was caring for them, but they would have to get everything approved by the security team before we could, if we had any questions about what was going on, they would have to ask the security team and come back with their answers. And then if we were moving, they would have to check with the security team to let us know if it was okay if I came back to the house. So it was all the time.
Would that be daily?
Oh, yes.
Do you know where the money was coming from to pay for everything?
I thought it was the security team.
Okay. So you and your wife were not paying for it?
Just like I said, when they first moved out of the house in Hilton Head, my wife paid for hotel for a while, and we would buy groceries and things like that. That was about it.
Okay. And at that point, was your wife still working during the day? Do
Oh, yes.
you know where she was working?
Hunter McLean Law Firm.
Okay. And do you know what she did for them?
I think they call him an administrative assistant now.
Okay. And in that capacity, would she go to work Monday through Friday?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Do you know what time she would leave in the morning for work?
I would take her to work about 8:30,
Okay. And then what time would she get home?
5:30.
How'd you get home?
I picked her up.
So you drive her to and from work every day?
Yes.
Okay. Were you working yourself at that point?
No, not by the time we were there.
Okay. Was anyone else home during the day with you? Meaning anybody who lived there?
Oh, Mindy and Nick were always there with Rusty.
Okay. Now, did there come a time where there was a mention of Microsoft?
Yes, that was way back when when we were told that he left the Navy, they were working on something for Microsoft. And that's why there was they needed a security team to protect it.
So Mr. Kassotis needed a security team because he was working for Microsoft on something secret?
Correct.
Okay. And at that point, that started, you said, back in Virginia?
Correct.
Okay. So this happened back in, do you know what year that was approximately? If you know.
I don't recall exactly when that was.
Okay. But it was while they were still in Virginia?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever see any work product from Microsoft from him?
No.
Did he ever show you any paperwork from Microsoft?
No.
Did he ever show you any computer software?
No.
So during the day while Mr. Kassotis worked from the house, what did you do?
Well, after I took my wife to work, I was told I'd come back, take a shower, and then when I would leave for lunch, sometimes to go to lunch with her, other times to go just to lunch. But I couldn't come back until 3 o'clock or a little after, and I'd have to call and check and make sure that security was okay for me to come back.
Who told you that you weren't allowed to be in the house?
Mindy and Nick.
So they told you you had to leave the house?
Correct.
How often did you have to leave the house?
Every day.
From when to when?
Usually right before lunch until after 3 o'clock or so.
Okay. And how did you know that it was okay to come home?
I would send a message on the Signal app and ask if it was okay if I could come home.
And who would you send that message to?
Nick.
I saw you just nod. Do you see him here today?
Yes, right over there.
The record can reflect he's pointed to the defendant.
Right?
Have you ever used Signal app before?
No.
How did you learn of Signal app?
I believe it was Mindy who showed me how to even download it and how to use it.
Okay. And on Signal app, just so we're clear, is that a texting or a voice communication?
Texting.
Text. Okay. And so you would send the messages to Mr. Kassotis by way of that phone app?
Correct.
And would he then indicate whether or not it was okay for you to return to the residence?
Yes.
How long after they were married did they start moving around? Do you know? Approximately.
I couldn't tell you exactly, but it wasn't very long.
Okay. But it was after they were married.
Yes.
Okay.
And don't worry, we're going to hear from the other wives. In fact, the witness that testifies immediately after the dad, which we're going to watch, is wife number 3. And get ready for something like, again, everything just comes out of left field. Like, it's like one insanity after another. I can't wait to get to that testimony because that's insane as well. Of course it is. Speaking of what we have here, as far as what, guesses to what he was doing on his screen all day, online, Plenty of Fish, Twitter, eHarmony. I know some of you guys were thinking maybe gambling. I mean, and I totally agree. This guy seems so sweet. I know, 100%.
Did you believe them when they told you that they were in danger?
Oh, yes.
Did there come a time when you started to doubt that?
I always had questions. That's kind of like what I was saying before about the security team. And I would ask questions.
He always had questions. Why do I find that really hard to believe? I mean, are you saying you had questions versus like literally zero? Like, I don't understand. Like, I just don't understand.
And, like what's going on with different things. And then they would come back and say, security team said, we can't answer that.
Okay.
Oh, objection. Can't answer that.
Did there come a time when you ultimately left the Savannah residence?
Yes.
And where did you wind up staying at that point?
Betsy and I moved to a condo in Hilton Head.
Okay. And I'm jumping ahead for just a moment. Was there any specific way that you had to get into that unit, that facility for the condos? How did you get into the building complex?
They had a security gate that you had to get approval, like a pass to get in.
Okay. And when you ultimately moved to that residence, did you have to provide that pass to somebody?
Yes, there was a security guard when you drove in.
Okay. Did you ever have any visitors at that location?
Matthew came and visited us.
Did he have to get a parking pass also?
Yes.
What was the name that the residence was reserved under for the parking pass?
Nicholas Kassotis?
So at that point, did that give you suspicions?
Yes, we had suspicions, but we were told that, we would get all the answers at some point done.
Okay. So
Wait,
let's go back.
I missed the significance of this bit. Hold on. Did he have to get a parking pass also? Hold on. Let me just see.
Ultimately moved to that residence. Did you have to provide that pass to somebody?
Yes, there was a security guard when you drove in.
Okay. Did you ever have any visitors at that location?
Matthew came and visited us.
Did he have to get a parking pass also?
Yes.
What was the name that the residence was reserved under for the parking pass?
Nicholas Kassotis?
So at that point, did that give you suspicions?
Yes, we had suspicions, but we were told that, we would get all the answers at some point done.
Okay. So let's go back. You're at the house in Savannah. Did Mr. Kassotis and your daughter ever talk to you about a change of name?
Yes.
What did she tell you specifically?
She told us that his name was going to be changed to Nicholas Stark
Did she tell you why?
for security reasons.
Okay. And that name, Nicholas Stark, did he start using it?
Yes, he even got like a bag, like a briefcase like thing that had Stark on. I
Okay.
remember that.
Oh my God. Did he? Oh my God. The extraness of that to get something and have it like what do you call it? Engraved, embossed. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Did you ever receive any mail that said the name Nicholas Stark?
I never saw any.
Okay. What about Amazon packages? Did you ever receive any of those at the house?
Yes, they got plenty of packages.
Okay. And was there anything of note that was received in those packages to you? Anything that drew your attention?
They got some clothes for like Mindy that she really hadn't had any clothes in quite a long time.
Okay.
Like I said, the briefcase, other things.
He hadn't had clothes in a long time. What is happening? He put his new name on his bag. What is he in kindergarten? Thank you. Thank you. I love it. That's amazing. That is what a great point to make, because it's like, we've got like the JAG, officer and like, whatever, all the other things about him. But but just thinking about how on top of all of that, also behaving like a kindergartner. Amazing. Thank you.
I don't remember exactly.
Okay. But you saw some things with the name Stark on them?
Yes.
Okay. Did you ever meet anyone from the security team?
No.
Did you ever meet any of his coworkers, Mr. Kassotis?
Once he left the Navy, no.
Did you ever meet any of his employers once he left the Navy?
No.
What about his father? Have you ever met his father?
I met him at the wedding.
Okay. And did there come a time when there was an incident while you were in Savannah concerning his father?
Yes.
Northwest makes a great point. You need props to sell identity. That's a great point. That is a great point. I will just say that y'all know how I love a good prop, right? When you think of it that way, I can't be that mad at it. When you think of it as like a prop, you can't take it seriously either. Like a prop to sell his identity also still is very much in line with being a kindergartner. So I love it. JJ, I don't know what clip you're referencing. But also you don't ever have to apologize for anything here.
Betsy and I would go off for the weekend, a lot of times to watch Matthew play baseball or whatever, and we would try to give them time away from us. So we would go off and come back on a Sunday afternoon. And one Sunday we came back and they told us that his father and his uncle had come to the house and were knocking on the door.
Okay.
And they were really upset.
Okay. Did he indicate to you what had happened as a result of that incident? Did Mindy tell you?
Yes, she told me that he was crawling on the floor to the back of the house, so they couldn't see in the windows and couldn't see.
Oh my God.
Do you know if the police were contacted?
I heard later that a police report was filed.
Okay. Did you move after that?
No.
Did Mindy move?
No.
Did Mr. Kassotis move?
No.
Did they beef up?
This is important because she's making the point that she's making, right? Because his whole story, right, is like they kept moving so frequently because they, security reasons, the threat. The point that she's making is that here he tried to pretend, right? Of course he's staging. He's trying to act like they're really in danger. He's ducking, he's hiding, they're after me. But like at that point, they didn't move. And she's going to ask now, like, did they beef up security? I'm sure the answer is no. So I don't know that it's necessary. I mean, I think that the jury is well past any reasonable doubt at this point. But just in case, right? It's like, okay, let's just dismantle every single thing that he said. And remember, he's going to take the stand because we haven't gotten there yet. We're still in the state's case in chief.
Up security with people out front?
No.
Were cameras installed?
Yes, there was a camera installed that was in the kitchen that would shoot down the driveway.
Who put that camera in?
Nick did.
Do you ever see any footage off that camera?
No.
Do you know where Mindy was? Did she tell you where she was when this incident happened with Mr. Kassotis' father and uncle?
She was in their bedroom, I believe.
Was she afraid?
Yes.
Now, once Mr. Kassotis advised you that, or rather, what's wrong? Once your daughter advised you that this incident had happened, were measures taken to protect your wife from going to and from work?
No.
Did anything change at all?
No.
Now, when you were at the house, how many bedrooms were there?
2 bedrooms.
Okay. What type of a house is this? A 1-story or a 2-story?
1 story.
Okay. Are there steps to get into the house?
Yes.
Are there railings to walk up to get into the house up the steps? If you recall.
I don't recall.
Okay.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Well, when you got to that location, did there come a time when you had to have surgery of some kind?
I had hip replacement, yes.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what happened that prompted you to have that surgery?
Well, I hurt my left knee shagging fly balls for my son, and I didn't get my knee fixed. And it got to the point where
Shagging fly
it
balls.
hurt my left
Hold on. Shagging fly. Hold on.
That prompted you to have that surgery?
Well, I hurt my left knee shagging fly balls for my son.
Yeah.
And I didn't get my knee fixed. And it got to the point where it hurt my left hip, and I finally had to get hip replacement surgery.
Okay. Do you remember when that was?
November of 2022.
Okay. And
Where ABC is making your point. Lawyer says he's a lying liar who lies and then he takes a stand. Yep. And as we know, it's the defendant's choice. I guarantee you that defense attorney, Doug Weinstein, I guarantee you he was really hoping that Mr. Kassotis would think twice about it.
go for the surgery.
St. Joseph's Hospital?
Okay. Is that in Savannah?
That's in Savannah on Abigail.
Okay. And when you went to that surgery, were you alone? How did you get there?
Betsy took me.
Okay. When she took you to the surgery, did you stay overnight or did you come home that day?
I stayed overnight, yes.
So would it be fair to say you returned on what date?
December the 1st, I believe.
Okay. You came home the next day?
Yes.
When you came home the next day, where did you go from that location, meaning from the hospital?
Back to the house on 65th Street.
How did you, when you arrived at 65th Street, what happened?
Nick came out, helped me up the stairs. They were big, tall stairs, and really took care of me the rest of that day because Betsy went back to work.
Okay. And at that point, did you see Mindy at the house when you were there on November 30th?
No.
Okay. Can you tell us, where were you for Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving, Matthew and his friend had come in. This was one of those weekends where we tried to give them privacy. So we rented a condo in Hilton Head because Matthew and his friend were working at a restaurant. They had a big Thanksgiving promotion they did with fried turkeys and all that, and they worked long hours. And so we went over there and got a condo so they would have somewhere to stay we stayed there for the whole weekend.
Okay. Do you remember what day you left for Hilton Head?
That was on Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Okay. And specifically on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, do you recall when the last time you saw Mindy was before you left for Thanksgiving?
Probably the day before or maybe a few days before that.
Okay. So in the days leading up to you leaving, you saw her?
Yes.
Where was she?
She was in the bedroom. But also, one time she was coming out of the bedroom going to the bathroom.
Okay. So you saw her in the house itself?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, what did you think her condition was, her health condition?
She looked really bad. I mean, looked like they told us that she had high blood pressure and she looked like she was sick.
Okay. And at that point, did you leave to go for Hilton Head?
Yes.
Okay. And when you left to go for Hilton Head, when did you come back? What day?
The Sunday afternoon.
Okay. And when you came back on the Sunday afternoon, did you see Mindy?
No.
Where did you think she was?
Nick told us that she was in the hospital. They were trying to regulate her blood pressure.
And did you ever speak with her?
No.
Did you ever see her at the hospital?
No.
Did he tell you which hospital?
No. We just assumed that she was at the military hospital right there in Savannah.
Why did you assume that?
Because he was retired Navy.
Okay. And at that point, did you know whether or not they were expecting a child?
Yes, they told us she was expecting.
Okay. And did you have any belief as to whether or not it was a boy or a girl?
I recall it, them telling us it was going to be a girl.
Okay. And did you know when she was supposed to be due? If you knew.
I believe it was January 8th.
Okay. So would it be fair to say that the last time you saw her was at the time period right before you left for Thanksgiving, correct?
Correct.
Okay. At that point, did she appear to be pregnant to you?
She could have been, yes.
Okay. Without sounding unkind, had she put on some weight? What makes you think that she could have been pregnant?
Well, I've seen a lot of people who have been pregnant that didn't look pregnant. And so I mean, she wasn't really skinny to start off with, so it was believable.
Okay. So when she told you that, you simply believed her?
Yes.
Okay.
Awful
And
that he was put in a position to have to say that about his beloved daughter who's deceased and dismembered. Yeah.
when you came back to the house, you said from the surgery, you said Mr. Kassotis helped you into the residence. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Did he stay with you until your wife came home?
Yes.
And at some point, did he leave the residence during that time period?
Yes. Once he came home, he left to go see. He told us to go see Mindy.
Okay. And at that point, what was your expectation about Mindy? Was she coming home or staying at the hospital? What was it you believed was going to be going on?
I thought when she got better, she was coming back to the house.
Okay. And at that point, did Mr. Kassotis leave the residence?
Yes.
And where did you believe he was going?
To the hospital.
And at that point, what, if anything, happened after he left for the hospital?
When he came back home, and he told us that she had died
Okay.
at the hospital.
Okay. Were you surprised?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, did he tell you what happened?
Well, that's a little fuzzy for me, but I do remember that it said something to do with her blood pressure, and somebody had left the room, and when they came back, she had died.
You indicated earlier that Mr. Kassotis was an attorney, correct?
Correct.
Did he discuss with you his concerns about her death at the hospital?
No, he told us he was going to go back and find out what had happened.
So when he first came home on the 1st, he didn't know what happened,
All he knew was that she had died, and he was very upset.
but he had no answers about what happened at that point.
No.
Did he have any paperwork at all concerning her death?
No.
Did he ever provide you with any paperwork concerning her death?
No.
Did he ever explain to you what actions, if any, he was taking against the hospital, given what he had described to you?
No, he didn't.
Crazy.
Did Mr. Kassotis ever indicate to you which place that you could go and see your daughter after she passed?
No, that was never discussed.
Okay. Were you concerned where her body was?
I've given that a lot of thought. Being a minister, I know when someone dies, I know they've gone to be with the Lord. And I
Okay,
really,
this is important. Let's make sure. So here we go. She's asking finally the question that, well, one of the many questions that everybody is like, what the fuck is going on? Okay.
Kassotis ever indicate to you which place that you could go and see your daughter after she passed?
no, that was never discussed.
Okay.
Okay. So she's about to like ask, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, why didn't you never asked to go see her? Like there was no funeral, there was no wake, there was no service, there was no memorial. You never saw like literally it's like she just vanished, right? And then you're told the story about the hospital, but you didn't see her in the hospital. You didn't see her. I mean, you didn't hear from a doctor. You only have his word saying, I mean, it's insane. But again, of all the different things that make no sense, at least she's asking one of the questions, which is, why was it okay that you never like did any of the things that people do when somebody dies? Like, okay, here we go.
Were you concerned where her body was?
I've given that a lot of thought. Being a minister, I know when someone dies, I know they've gone to be with the Lord, and I really didn't need to see her body. I wish I could have said goodbye, but after she was dead, it didn't. That wasn't her. So it was no reason for me.
Really
to
sad.
really
I can't.
clamor to go see her body.
Okay. Did you discuss with Mr. Kassotis the possibility of funeral services?
There was some discussion about a memorial service later on, but of course it had to do with the security.
Oh my God.
So you weren't allowed to have a service initially because of security?
That's the way I understood it. Yes.
Okay. Did you ever have service?
No.
Unfucking believable.
Did Mr. Kassotis ever give you a doctor's name that was attending to her during her pregnancy?
No.
Did you ever have doctors come to the house to attend to her?
No.
Did you ever see her again after you left for Thanksgiving?
No.
Hi, Heather.
Did you ever exchange emails with people that you believed were connected to the security team?
Yes.
How did you get that email address?
And if I remember correctly, I think they sent emails to me and then I sent it back.
So you replied basically?
Correct.
Okay. So you weren't the one that initiated it?
No, I had no idea who to send it to until I got something.
Did you use regular email to send those?
Yes.
What email did you use?
My email address.
Is that like a Yahoo or
Yahoo,
Google?
yes.
Which is it? Yahoo?
Yes.
Okay. So you used your regular Yahoo to communicate with the security detail?
Correct.
Do you remember if Mr. Kassotis ever got a car?
Yes. At some point in time when we were at the house on 65th Street, he got a green Ford Explorer.
Okay. And you know how he paid for it?
No,
Oh my God.
Did you ever see a death certificate for your daughter?
no,
This is
Medical records of any sort?
no.
After Mindy passed away, can you tell the jury what happened in the days right after she passed?
Well, a few days after, we had to leave the house on 65th Street, and we had to move to the condo that we went to in Hilton Head. And we lived there for 3 months.
So from approximately December to March?
Yes.
Okay. How were arrangements made for you to stay at that location?
Nick made arrangements for us.
Okay. Did Mr. Kassotis stay with you?
No, he moved us. He helped move us over there because I just had the hip replacement, and we said goodbye. And he went back supposedly to the house in South 65th Street.
Okay. Do you know if he actually went back to the house?
No.
Did you expect to speak with him again after he left?
Oh yes,
Did you expect to see him again?
yes,
Did you ever see him again?
No.
Did you speak to him?
yes.
How many times?
We emailed or texted through Signal a lot, but we talked to him one time on the phone.
So the only time you heard his voice was that one time on the actual phone?
Correct.
Okay. And when you got to the condo complex, what was it your understanding that Mr. Kassotis was going to be doing at that point in terms of living arrangements?
Well, he told us that he was going to go actually to meet his real mother when he left us, and then that he would be closing up or finalizing some things, and he would be back down to Hilton Head.
Okay. In all the time that you knew Mr. Kassotis, did you ever know him to hunt?
No,
Did he own knives?
not that I knew of. No.
Did he do some chores around the house?
Yes,
And specifically, what chores do you remember him doing?
the house at 65th Street. There was problems with the washing machine that he tried to fix. Toilet was backed up. We had terrible mosquitoes when we first moved in, and he did something with the mosquitoes.
When was the mosquitoes? You said when you first moved in?
Well, right around when we first moved in, yes. We had mosquitoes were coming in from somewhere.
And you moved in when? Do you recall?
June? I'm assuming, yeah, I think it was June of 22.
That was long before November, right?
Yes.
Prior to speaking to law enforcement, what did you think happened to Mr. Kassotis?
We were told that he had an accident, that he was in the hospital. We didn't know where, and that he was on life support. And we tried to go see him. And then we got another email a day or two later that said he had died.
And that notification was received by email?
Yes.
Did anybody come to see you?
No.
Did you ever speak with his family concerning his death?
No.
And I just want to make sure I understand, his security team reached out to you and your wife after he was dead.
Correct.
Did you ask to see his body?
No.
Did they make arrangements for a funeral service for you to attend?
No.
I have nothing from you.
Mr. Weinstein? Thank you, Ron. Good afternoon, Mr. Mevin.
Hi.
My name is Doug Weinstein. I'm representing Nick Kassotis in this case.
Okay.
Mr. Mevin, you said your last position after being a minister was being a financial advisor.
Correct.
What does a financial advisor do? Or what did you do as a financial advisor? Let me put it that way.
I had clients who I advised them about investments,
So investments in what?
stocks, bonds, mainly.
And how did you have the knowledge base to be able to give that advice?
My undergraduate degree is in finance, and I have always, wherever I worked at churches or whatever, I did the financial part of the church. And I was recruited by Edward Jones Investments, and they trained strenuous training to how to pass the different tests that you have to pass to get different licenses to be a financial advisor.
So how many tests did you have to pass?
4?
And you said those tests were strenuous?
Yes.
So it seems like it's fairly complex work.
This actually, again, there's not a lot to work with if you're the defense attorney, right? But this is actually a good route to go, which is sort of like this guy is really smart with finances, and he didn't think that there was anything going on or whatever. I mean, that's what I think he's trying to get out of here.
Correct?
Mhm.
Okay. And you'd have to be pretty smart, pretty knowledgeable in order to do that work, correct?
Correct.
When Nick and Mindy are having all these security issues and Mindy is telling you about the security issues, you believe Mindy, correct?
Yes.
And you believe Nick.
Yes.
And you said that Mindy was afraid, isn't that right?
Yes.
Mindy also was a pretty bright woman.
Very bright.
Very bright. Why do you say very bright?
Well, to get her master's degree, she had to have a high GPA, and she was always in honors classes in high school and college and all that.
And so she was a very bright woman, but she was also afraid.
Correct.
And she told you about the security team, correct?
Yes.
Now, you said they a lot when referring to stuff, so I may try to get that clarified so that we can understand whether it was Mindy that told you things or Nick that told you things.
Okay.
You were told by them that you had to be out of the house from before lunch until about 3 o'clock. Was that Mindy that told you that?
I would say both of them told me that.
Okay. So while you were living together, is it fair to say every weekday from noon to 3, roughly, you were out of the house?
Yes.
So if people came in and out of the house during that noon to 3 time frame, you wouldn't know about it, correct?
No.
So doctors could have visited noon to 3, you wouldn't know about that.
Yes.
No.
If members of the security team came by from noon to 3, you wouldn't know about that either.
No.
And you say Mindy is the one that told you about the Signal app, is that correct?
Yes.
And you would use that to communicate with Mindy and with Nick, right?
Yes, for a while, yes.
But text only, you never used the voice feature of Signal, correct?
No. Not that I remember, no.
Mindy told you that they were changing their name to Start for security reasons, correct?
Yes.
Did she say what the security reasons were?
Not that I recall, no.
Well, yeah,
What
nothing
did you
was ever
believe to be?
discussed anyway.
I just thought it went along with everything else that we had been told for years, that they were in danger and
Right.
that was going
The
to,
most generic ass. Dude.
Jumping ahead a little bit
I'm not
to
blaming
when
him, but
you got back from the hospital on December 1st from your hip replacement.
Yeah.
I believe that you testified that Nick took care of you that afternoon.
yes, he helped me get up, go to the bathroom, things like that.
You don't have to get into graphic detail, but I understand what you're
stellar
saying.
guy.
And Nick remained with you until Betsy returned, correct?
What a great
And then at that
guy.
point, Nick left the
He's
house.
murdering.
Now, you say you never saw any paperwork relating to Mindy's death, correct?
Correct.
Did you ask to see any paperwork of Nick around
Oh,
the time of
for
Mindy's
fuck's
death?
sake.
No.
You also were asked about a lawsuit, about Nick engaging in a lawsuit against the hospital. You had known Nick in 2022 for how long?
6 years?
Had you known him to be a litigious person? Had he been going around filing a bunch of lawsuits? As far as you know?
No.
Did he file any lawsuits prior to Mindy's death, as far as you know?
No.
Working
Did
with
you ask Nick, why aren't you suing that hospital?
No.
Were you on the phone when Frank IV was told about the death of Mindy?
No.
That was your wife that had made that call to Frank IV?
Yes.
Okay. What was Frank IV's occupation?
He's a policeman?
He's a policeman.
Ooh.
Yes.
Is he still a
Okay.
policeman as far as you know? Where is he a policeman?
In Burnett Town, South Carolina?
And how long?
Again, the point being, you've got a smart guy because he works in finances. He didn't think anything was weird, or you could say, you know, look how smart he is, and he believed all this stuff. And then you've got also a police officer in the family.
How long has he been a policeman for?
Over 20 years?
At one point, was Frank IV a policeman with, and I'm going to mangle this name, the Yemassee Police Department?
That's
Here
correct.
it is. This is the one. I literally, when this happened live, like I heard this one little part. I wasn't watching. I was listening. I literally put it on, and I heard him say Yemassee. I was like, oh my god, I must be MURDAUGH brain, right? I'm like, he must have said something else. Like, and my brain was like, he must have said something, and I thought it was Yemassee. I'm like, there's no way. But then,
Am I saying that correctly?
That's right, yes.
And where is the Yemassee Police Department?
Yemassee is kind of right off of I-95 in between Savannah and Florence.
And was the chief of police at the Yemassee Police Department, was that Gregory Alexander?
oh my fucking god! And this is when I was like, you've got to be kidding me. How? I mean, hold on. I just, you know, it and we're back with MURDAUGH again.
There's a house cat that's gone wild.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth. It's a house.
I mean, it shocks me.
Defamed through the MURDAUGH case?
Oh my god! And then he says it. Oh my god! And he says that he pronounces it wrong. Lord.
Kind of right off of I-95 in between Savannah and Florence.
And was the chief of police at the Yemassee Police Department, was that Gregory Alexander?
Yes.
Who came to fame through the MURDAUGH case?
Yes.
And he had worked for
I mean, Greg Alexander was a huge part of that trial.
Chief Gregory Alexander, correct?
Correct.
He'd been fired from that position in 2007?
Objection, Your Honor. This has no bearing on the case at hand.
The state is making a lot out of the fact that my client
Oh my god! So finally, we have an objection. It's the first objection I've heard from the state. This is wild. So, also ABC's is putting Gray Boys in the chat. I mean, this is, here's one thing I will say. When you're on the jury, right, and you've got a situation like this trial where there's very few objections, like this objection really stands out. In other trials, you wouldn't even really notice it, but you know how it is. It's like it could actually draw more attention. Like this objection is almost like jarring because there's just been so few objections. So let's do this again and note the objection.
And was the chief of police at the Embassy Police Department, was that Gregory Alexander?
Yes.
Who came to fame through the MURDAUGH case?
Yes,
And he had worked for Chief Gregory Alexander, correct?
correct.
He'd been fired from that position in 2007.
Objection, Your Honor. This has no bearing on the case at hand.
The state is making a lot out of the fact that my client has prosecutorial and legal experience, so I just run the fourth. Is there law enforcement as well?
It's irrelevant. The court's going to sustain the objection.
I have no further questions. Thank you very much.
Interesting. I mean, it is irrelevant. I don't know why. What I'm trying to figure out what was okay. So I guess Doug Weinstein here is his goal with this is to try to make it seem like not only was he a police officer, not only was he a police officer for 20 years or more than 20 years, but also he was good enough to work with, Chief Alexander, related to MURDAUGH. Now, what's interesting is that he could be banking on the fact that the jury's going to think, oh, the jury won't know who that is, right? But that they'll be like, oh, wow, he must be a good character. No, in fact, that's what's so interesting too, is right, like Chief Alexander is not. I mean, he was talk about the good old boys club, right? I mean, again, he came up a ton in the MURDAUGH trial, but it was never good things. It was always shady shit, and he a lot of stuff that's still, I think, unknown for the most part, but and him and the MURDAUGHs were thick as thieves. So, and then there was that whole thing about he had like what was it? He got charged with something, and that's when you had the whole fake David Owen thing. God, that was a whole wild rabbit hole down that one. But anyway, nonetheless, if the jury actually watched MURDAUGH and like paid close attention and knows who Chief Greg Alexander is, that this would not be a good thing to want to be tied to, right? And maybe he doesn't know. Maybe this defense attorney, maybe he didn't watch the trial, and so he just assumes like, oh, famous trial, law enforcement, it must be a good association, because it's not. It's a bad association. But I'm just trying to think, what is his strategy? And that's the only thing I can think of, is he's trying to make it seem like, okay, he's a top-notch law enforcement officer, and even he was fooled, and like trying to use the notoriety of the case to make it seem like that. But again, if you know the case, you're like, no, that's the opposite. But I totally agree that it's not relevant, and that was the proper thing for that to be sustained.
The fact that my client has prosecutorial and legal experience, so I just run the fourth. Is there law enforcement as well?
It's irrelevant. The court's going to sustain the objection.
I have no further questions. Thank you very much, sir. And I'm very sorry for your loss.
Well, of course, that's not the reason he gives. You can't say that, right? We see this all the time, right? With attorneys, whether they're trying to get something in or keep something out, a lot of the times the reason that they give or the grounds that they state are not the actual reason behind it. And so that was an example of that. Okay, guess what? Now for the best part, or not the best, I don't know. It's all the best part, but the part I'm so excited about this, because I have not seen all of this testimony. I've seen some of it, and it's just so, I don't even know. It's so unhinged and next level. We are going to hear from wife number 3. Get ready, guys. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, and then you see more, and then you're like, what's happening? And then it gets crazier. And we're getting to some good stuff here with this one.
Raise your right hand and face the camera.
I mean, 100%. Absolutely, he's using what he can. 100% using what he can. 100%.
That you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yeah.
Please have a seat. And see that microphone. If you try to sit close to that so we can hear you.
Interesting. So she's she's directly after that. She's already crying. And what's so, wild, right? Like the parents on the stand, the mom got emotional a little bit one time, but not even like crying. The dad, not really. There was not, a lot of times when you've got a victim's parents on the stand, right? Or anyone who was close to them, right? It's like expected. I mean, I remember thinking even initially when I saw it, I was like, this is odd that they're like not more emotional, right? Like, and then you have this wife number 3 who's already bawling her eyes out before she takes the stand.
And see that microphone there?
Oh my God.
Sit close to that so we can hear you.
Ma'am, can you please tell the court reporter your full name and how you spell it?
Yes, my full name is Samantha Kolesnik. Should I spell my first name too? Spell my first name Samantha.
Right.
Last name is Kolesnik.
Can you tell us, without giving us an exact address, where do you live?
I live in the state of Pennsylvania.
Okay. And can you tell us just a town? Or rather the area? What's the big city?
Lancaster County, near Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
And what do you do for work now?
I work full-time at a software company, a technology company.
Okay. And do you do anything on the side to earn money?
I do. I do various artistic endeavors. I write books. Sometimes I make independent films.
How long have you been doing that?
Many years now. I mean, over 5 years.
Okay. Were you doing that back in 2022?
Yes.
Okay. And does that writing of books and work that you described, does that give you an online presence?
Yes.
Would that be how you try to sell or distribute some of those?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. This question is not for anyone who's seen any of her testimony. For those of you guys who've not seen her testimony, does anyone want to try and guess where this is going? When I heard this testimony initially, I was like, is this where this is going? And I was like, there's no way. There's no way. I'm just curious, this whole bit, right? She does books, independent movies. She has an online presence. Do you guys want to take guesses as to where this is going before I play it? And then we'll hear the answer. And if you've seen it, no cheating. And this is wife number 3. Wife number 3. The victim was wife number 2. We do hear from wife number 1 also, but wife number 3 testifies before wife number 1. Oh, hi, Kit Smits. No, but maybe kind of on the right track a little bit. Porn, also good guess. Okay, the blonde woman. Yeah, I think she testifies later in the trial. I actually haven't even seen her testimony yet. But I think you're talking about wife number 1, who I know she testifies. I just haven't even seen it. You guys are all on the right track in a little, somewhat. All right, let's listen.
Okay. And does that writing of books and work that you described, does that give you an online presence?
Yes.
Would that be how you try to sell or distribute some of those?
Yes. Yes.
Are you published?
Yes.
How many books have you published?
I think 4, and then I've had short fiction published in many different books, many different anthologies.
Done any movies?
Yes, but nothing big, just little independent films.
Okay.
Yeah.
But your work has gained some traction?
Yes, I have a small following. Nothing. I'm not like a big known person or anything like that.
Okay. What type of genre do you write?
Mainly horror.
Here it is.
Fiction.
Horror, fiction.
People call it like dark fiction and horror.
Dark fiction and horror.
Those kinds of stories.
Okay. And can you tell the jury what is a pen name?
A pen name is, in a general sense, just a name somebody might use to write books that's not their real name. That's not their like their legal name, on their ID.
Is that common in the author community?
Very common.
Okay. So when you
So is anybody connecting the dots there? So she's asking about a pen name. We already know at this point, right, that the defendant had changed his name, and at the moment, well, the most recent change was what? Nicholas Killian James Stark. He got that bag embroidered like a kindergartner and all that. So do you guys have any thoughts as to what we might also learn in this case if it couldn't get any crazier?
we're selling books, did you sell them online as well?
Yes.
Okay. In that capacity, did you have occasion to meet an individual that went by the name of Nick Stark?
Here we go.
Yes.
Can you tell the jury how you first became acquainted with Nick Stark?
In late September 2022, I had a public Twitter, it was then called Twitter, profile to where, as an author, to where I sometimes sold books. And I had sent a public tweet saying that I was selling signed books on my website. And Nick Stark, he had I think it was the username either Nick Morfox or KJ Stark at that time in Twitter. He messaged me to let me know that he had bought 4 of my books, like all 4 that were for sale. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Is that the first time that you met him?
Well, I didn't even meet him at that time. It was the first time that, he was directly communicating to me online.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was the first communication, even if it wasn't a face-to-face meeting.
That's correct. Okay.
And you said there was a Twitter named KJ Stark,
Yeah, he had several different Twitter names, so I can't be positive which it was, but it was either Nick Moore Fox, which I believe was his pen name, or KJ Stark. I believe it would be one of those two.
Okay. And at that time that you first interacted with him, did you ultimately have the ability to recover those tweets and provide them to law
Yes.
enforcement? So they're here and available for you, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Did you learn whether or not he was also writing?
He told me he was a writer. I don't know to like what extent. I don't think he had been published as of yet, or maybe he had a short story or two published. I think he was a short fiction writer primarily.
Do you know what kind of genre he wrote?
The same to my knowledge, horror, dark fiction.
Guys, what is happening?
So initially you said you met him by way of digital message online in late September of 2022.
Yes.
Did that conversation continue after you first interacted with him on the purchase of your books?
Yes.
Tell the jury how that progressed in terms of the conversation.
Yeah, well, the messages were not a whole lot at first. At first, I really didn't even understand why he felt the need to message me, because a lot of people don't message when they buy books, they just buy it. But, I said, thank you for buying my books and something to that effect. And then he just he messaged again, and he just kept messaging. And then we just started engaging in small talk, like off and on through October, but not a whole lot of messages at that time. Very light conversation, I would say, in October of 2022, and all on Twitter direct messages.
So those conversations were all online, nothing in person?
Correct.
Okay. Did that time period between September and October of 22 ever graduate to phone calls?
Not in October, to my knowledge. I think the first time we had a phone call was in November of 2022.
Okay. So at some point it progressed from text messages to the actual phone?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And when you spoke with him over the phone, do you remember, you said that was in November, you believe?
Yes, November of 2022.
Did the relationship change from light banter at any point to something more romantic?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate that, JJ. Yeah, so it's not quite, but almost. Right, I know. I was thinking literally the same thing, because I've got the whole thing about the thing I'm not going to say because I don't want to spoil. I've got it pulled up from back when this whole thing happened, and the book and all that. I've got it pulled up, but I'm like, I should wait to share it when it comes up in the trial, because but I'm like so tempted to share it now. Because it's so shocking. It's so shocking. And I think it comes out first in her testimony what the story was called. I'm pretty sure. If Northwest is still here, let me know. If I recall, she does say the name of the short story, and then at that point, that's when I'll pull up the thing. I know it comes up in his testimony when he takes the stand, but I'm pretty sure we hear it from her first.
It became, flirtatious and more, I'd say, emotionally charged.
Okay.
Yeah.
And would that be part of what ultimately yielded phone calls?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Did there come a time when you met him in person for the first time?
I met him in person for the first time December 16th, 2022.
Okay. And where did you meet him?
In Pennsylvania.
So he came to you?
That's correct.
Okay. At that point, did you know why he was in Pennsylvania?
Well, he said that he was taking a long drive for a work trip to Missouri. And then he said that he could drive from Missouri from his work trip. He said he was working in legal compliance to Pennsylvania. And he also said that he would end up in Delaware because he was working on a big merger and acquisition. And they were having that in Delaware, which would be, Delaware is very close to Pennsylvania. It's a short drive away.
Did you know where he lived at the time in December of
He
2022?
said he was living in Georgia.
Okay, so it was your understanding he was going from Georgia to Missouri, and then from Missouri down to Delaware, he'd stop by you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say stop by because it's quite out of the way. He said, yes, he was driving from Georgia to Missouri because he had something for work that he had to do. And he was driving because he had his dog with him named Rusty, just a big dog. And I'm sorry, I don't know the breed. And then he said that he would love to meet me and he would drive since he's already on the road from Missouri to Pennsylvania. I did push back and say, that's a big drive. I don't know. That's a lot of expectation. It feels like when somebody drives that long of a distance. And
Yeah, I get it.
Paraphrasing here, he basically said, I'm going to, drive out to see you. And I want to meet you. And, if you don't like me, I'll just drive back. He made it very, he persisted and, made it very, low pressure from my point of view.
Okay. Now at that point, would it be fair to say you had met him at the end of September? How long, I say met, online?
Online.
How long had it been since you started talking to him to when he came to your place, December 16th, approximately?
I'm not sure I understand. That was the time frame. So he started talking to me online, Twitter direct messages in September. And then the first time that I ever met.
Right. So they started talking in September. Remember, Mindy, the wife, first went missing during Thanksgiving. So like the end of November, right? So they started talking. Now they're living in different states. So they started talking before Mindy was killed. He didn't see her for the first time until after she was killed. But by then they were already having this whatever the fuck relationship type thing through Twitter.
And in person was December 16th.
Okay, so about 2 months roughly?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, what was your marital status?
I was separated. I'd already filed for divorce and moving from my marital home to my own home at that time. And I moved in November of 2022.
You know, the thing is that the word or the term marital home is forever ruined for me because Sarah Boone said marital home 50 bazillion times. And now every time I hear, which is not often you hear people say that, but like hearing her saying marital home, I'm having like PTSD and like flashbacks to Sarah Boone, and it's not fun.
And in that time,
Yeah,
before you met Mr.
I think so.
Stark, were you concerned that you had met him online?
Yes. Yes, I was. You know,
What we get from her, guys, is all of the red flags. Like, you know, you had Mindy's parents where the red flags were not red flagging. They were not red flagging when they should have been red flagging. For her, all the red flags are there, but somehow he gets past them all. And that's what's so interesting about her. Like about this particular situation. Like she either goes back against her better judgment or he just sort of steamrolls her basically. But even from the very beginning, like the very first thing where she said, oh yeah, he messaged me to say he'd read all my books. And she's like, yeah. And I thought that was weird because people don't ever just message you to say they've read your books. And like, anyway, but like, in other words, every single thing, one thing after another, all of it is weird. And it just continues that way. And she picks up on all the red flags, but like, it didn't save her from marrying him. So
I had, even asked him, about that and said that I was concerned because I was newly single and, living basically alone. And, he had provided some documentation to me, I think, to, kind of comfort me and assure me that, he was who he said he was.
Oh my God.
He sent me selfies.
All right. So without her asking for it, he went ahead and was like, here's some documentation just to verify that I am who I say I am. Again, red flag. It's like the fact that he's already thinking that she's assuming he's not. Now, and I understand, right? Because meeting people online. However, it's a bit early on, and it just seems like, oh my God. It's like one of those things where it's like almost like an embedded confession, right? It's like consciousness of guilt. It's like he went ahead and was like, here, let me show you. I've got, just like how he did for everything else. It's just.
He sent some other documents as well, just to verify his identity. And it did comfort me that I thought
to me, if somebody did that to me, it wouldn't comfort me that I could verify their identity. Be like, oh yeah, no, yeah, serial killer, goodbye. Or you know what I mean? Like that would be like red flags. Like, yeah.
I thought he was.
Like if that's something that's on your mind when it's something that we never discussed, or like, you know what I mean? Like if that's the first thing on your mind, like, anyways.
Did you ask for his driver's license?
Yes, I did.
Did he send it?
Yes.
Did you ask for something from his employment?
I did at one point, but I did not ask for that then. I asked for that later.
Did you ultimately receive his driver's license and his employment verification, for lack of a better way to phrase that?
Yes, I received a copy of his driver's license, which said Nicholas Stark on it, like a photocopy. I received an employment verification letter from the company he said he was working at.
Oh my God.
Should I say the other things that I received?
Let's just have that for a moment. Okay. I'm going to approach your honor, if that's okay, and show the witness what I have.
All right, we're going to see it, guys. Exhibits.
I'm going to show it on the teleprompter after, but you will have a copy here. You'll be able to also see them on the screen.
Should I look at them?
Yes, please do. Do you recognize 1.84, the first document I have here?
Yes.
What do you recognize that to be?
This would be the.
So they're just going to get these into evidence, and then we're going to see them. I think we do see them. All right, publish.
Does that reference a company name of Apis? A-P-I-S?
Yes.
And if I scroll to the bottom.
Okay, here we go. Look at his little dumb letterhead that he made to try to, oh my God, incredible. And also really funny too, that he like trying to get a lot of mileage out of the Apis, right? Because it's like with Mindy's family, Apis is not his employer, right? Apis is who's hired to protect him. But the funny thing is here with wife number 3, it seems like Apis is going to be his employer. So he's his own security detail. Is that what that means? He hired himself to be his own security detail. Is that how that goes?
I'm here. Does it indicate also when Mr. Stark began working at Apis Limited?
Yes.
And when was that?
It says February 12th, 2018.
Does it also indicate to you an email address at the very bottom where you could contact if there were questions?
Yes.
And what was the at portion of that?
apislimited.com.
I'm now going to turn your attention to the driver's license. If we can have it turn it off in between. Thank you. I'm now publishing 1.8. 6. One moment. Is that the copy of the Georgia driver's license you received?
Yes.
And that was a
And there it is. And this is with the name Nicholas Killian Stark. Now, interestingly, it looks like he spelled Killian with only one L here. Was that a typo on his part? He spelled it with only one L. Interesting. Okay.
rather a name of Nicholas Killian Stark on there, correct?
Yes.
Does it say the expiration date on that top right side?
Yes, it says June 3rd, 2030.
And was that a photograph of Mr. Stark?
Yes.
Do you know him?
Yep, yes.
Thank you.
Although I will say I don't think he had the beard when I met him, so just that difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he sent you those two documents at various times, and you believe that he was Nick Stark?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Did he use any other names? I know you said he used that pen name. Was that Nick Moorfox?
Yeah, I believe he had the pen name Nick Moorfox that he published short fiction under.
Okay.
That was like his author pen name.
Do you know if he had changed his name in any other way?
No,
Those are the only two names that you.
that's correct. I mean, he had the other username KJ Stark, but he told me his he had two like Killian James is like his full, yeah. So I just assumed that was the KJ Stark,
Okay.
but no, he never told me he had another last name different than Stark.
Did you ever know the name Nicholas James Kassotis?
No.
Oh my God.
Now, you indicated that at the time you were in the process of a divorce. You'd already been separated. Did you know Mr. Stark's marital status?
I believed I had. He told me that he was a widower and that he had lost his wife and his unborn child about 2 years prior, and that they had both died in a hospital.
And he told you that when?
He told me that he first referenced that his wife had passed away in October of 2022 in Twitter direct messages.
Oh my God. He told you that in October of 2022.
Yes, in on Twitter in the direct messages.
You subsequently determined that that was not correct. Meaning, did you find out from law enforcement that that was not the case?
I found out from law enforcement that that was not the case on the date of his arrest, and that was not until May 2023.
So when you first met KJ Stark by a tweet, that was communicated to you through a tweet?
So the tweets are like public, but we were communicating through the Twitter direct messages or like private messages, like similar to like if you were talking just like a text message, but just on Twitter.
Okay. I'm going to try and make this a little bit easier. I have 1.93, 1.94, 1.95, sequentially through 1.99. So 1.3.
I don't know, Miss Lindsay. I don't know.
May I? Yes, sir.
I don't know. I have the feeling no, but I
I'm
don't.
going to hand you exhibits 1.93.
I would hope she divorced him. So they're going to get these. Okay, she's going to introduce them. Can we publish? Sweet. All right, publishing. Here we go.
Would it be fair to say that that's what you have in front of you is 1.93?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to scroll in here.
Oh my God.
Can you see the name of the tweet that was sent from to you?
Yes, it's KJ Stark.
Okay. And is that what you were referring to earlier when you referenced late September first speaking with Mr. Stark?
That's correct.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that here you have sort of an announcement on the public page about you selling the books?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And as a result, is that why, or when you received rather, the response from Mr. Stark concerning the purchase of the books that you were selling?
Yeah, so what he's done here is he took like my public tweet and he kind of like quote tweeted in a message and then wrote his message beneath it. Yep.
Would that be the message that he sent to you?
Yes.
And when was that sent?
September 24th, 2022.
And in that post that he sent to you, did he offer to communicate with you?
Yes, he did.
And if you look at the top of this post, was he aware that you were going through a divorce at that time?
Yes.
Okay. And as a result, did you respond?
Yes, I did.
And you indicated earlier that that's not common. Is that correct?
It does happen sometimes. Sometimes people want to let you know they're buying your books, but it is not the majority of cases. No, I wouldn't say it's common.
Okay. So I'm now going to go to number 7.
I mean,
That would be 1.9.
I mean, I feel like I kind of want to read one of her books and see, like, I mean, like, dude, like, is it okay? Is it terrible? I mean, if it's terrible, it'll be funny, right? But like, I don't know. Just because what made me think of it is like, it says here, like, or well, hold on. It says like, where was it? If you love horror books and my work, I agree. I mean, I don't know that I've ever read a horror book, and I mean, so I don't know how I would feel. Like, in other words, I don't know that I would like say that I love them. I don't know that I've ever read one. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, truth. Yeah, interesting. There's the 4 books. Could be like a members only thing. I could get one of these books and then like over the course of however long, I could just like read it. read it to you guys. We could read it together over like many live streams. Let me know if you're interested.
You indicated earlier that that's not common. Is that correct?
It does happen sometimes. Sometimes people want to let you know they're buying your books, but it is not the majority of cases. No, I wouldn't say it's common.
Okay. So I'm now going to go to number 7. That would be 1.94. Just so we're clear, the gray writing,
Right.
and the pink writing that is displayed on the screen. Who is the gray writing?
The gray writing is Nick.
Okay, you guys, right off the bat, just visually, let me pull these CCs down. I don't even know if that we really need them. I think we can hear okay. Like visually, right off the bat, this is the next message. Oh my God. You guys, do y'all know why I'm freaking out? Because like, what? Oh my God. This is like, again, the red flags of it all. Millions of, oh my God.
That is displayed on the screen. Who is the gray writing?
The gray writing is Nick.
And the pink?
That's me.
Okay. And just if we could look specifically at this first paragraph.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Does he reference there specifically
Can
about
we get Trooper Buchanan again to read this, please, and be both voices and have like a character style?
losing his wife?
Yes, he does.
Okay, so if I were to read the line, in the last 3 years, I moved a couple times, learned pretty much everything I thought about myself was not true, and had my wife pass away. Is this what you were referring to?
Yes.
And when was this ultimately received by you?
October 18th, 2022.
And at that time, did you believe his wife was dead?
Yes.
Did he subsequently tell you that his wife also had been pregnant at the time she passed?
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting that he's saying that. You know, I wonder though, if he's saying that, you know what? He could be saying that. It's what's funny is that so on the nose, right? That everything about himself isn't true. But I wonder if he's actually saying this so that he's setting the stage to then get into the whole stolen baby story. I wonder if this was actually a plan, even though it's like so on the nose.
Now, did he indicate at any time that he was in any other relationship or just that that one had expired? Meaning the relationship had ended, that she had passed?
He never indicated that he was in any kind of relationship with any kind of romantic relationship with anybody.
Did you know if he had another wife that preceded the wife you just referenced?
No.
Okay. So at that time, you thought that the only time he had been married was to the woman he described on October 18th.
Yes.
Did he say how she died initially?
Yes, he said that she died in a hospital and that blood pressure complications and possibly an undiagnosed heart condition as well.
I'm now showing you the next slide. That would be 1.95.
Yeah.
Can you read us that paragraph starting she had?
She had an undiagnosed heart issue that was aggravated by her pregnancy, very sudden change in the way I thought life would look, but doing my best now to figure it out.
Now remember, part of the major issues here, right? Because the story he told Mindy's parents was like basically the hospital fucked up because they unplugged her and from her shit and she had a stroke or something. Like, just not the same thing.
So he told you that in this tweet?
In his private message on Twitter.
What day did he tell you that?
October 22nd, 2022.
Did you know that
Okay, Mindy's still alive.
his current wife was alive on that date at that time?
No.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And he described it as a very sudden change. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Did he mention if they had children? Other than that she was pregnant when she passed.
No other children, just that she was pregnant and that he lost both her and the unborn child. Is what he told me, and that he had no other children now.
Okay. Did him telling you that his wife had passed impact your trust of Mr. Stark?
It definitely impacted me. It made me feel very sad and bad for him. Because that's a terrible thing that could happen.
Oh. Unbelievable. Just the emotional manipulation. It's disgusting. Like, he's disgusting. Because you can tell that even now, she's such an empathetic person that she's crying thinking about how sad it is. Like, she's not feeling sorry for herself. She's crying thinking about how sad it is because she's genuinely answering the question. Like when she's asked the question, what is the question specifically? Let's make sure I get it right.
Impact your trust of Mr.
Right.
Stark?
Did it impact your trust? And she's remembering back. See, she's eye accessing, as they say. She's thinking back to how she felt at the time. And then she gets emotional thinking about how sad she felt at the time for him because of the empathy.
It definitely impacted me. It made me feel very sad and bad for him. Because that's a terrible thing that
Wow.
is under, to lose your wife and an unborn child. That's how I felt at the time. I felt bad for him.
Okay.
Awful.
Did you convey that to him?
Yes, I felt empathy because that's what I thought I lost.
Yeah.
His wife and unborn child.
Did that also facilitate you continuing to chat with him?
I did continue to chat with him, yes.
And did that then progress to that more flirtatious and romantic stage that you described for the jury?
I could say more like emotional at first because I had lost somebody close to me. I thought to at the time. So more emotional and then eventually flirtatious.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, at some point, you said in December, he came to visit you. You had just moved, is that right?
Oh, I had moved in November. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
So just like about a month prior.
Okay. And when he came to visit, did he stay with you in December of 2022?
No.
Why not?
Well, for one, I wouldn't have somebody stay with me
Good.
just meeting them. And then two, he had Rusty, his dog, with him, and my house, I rent, and they don't allow pets. They don't allow like any pets in the place.
Okay. And so, do you know where he was staying when he came in December?
When he came in December, I believed he was at an Airbnb in Pennsylvania.
What was your understanding, if I'm correct, that he was going to Missouri,
Mhm.
he was going to visit you, and then he was going to Delaware? Is that right?
I think he was going to go back to Georgia first because that was his home, but he did tell me he would have to live for several months in Delaware because that's where he'd be working for the merger acquisition that he was the
Merger acquisition. Oh my God.
point person on.
Oh my
that
God.
was my understanding.
Okay. Did he move to Delaware, as far as you know?
I thought, that his company was putting him up in Delaware.
Okay.
Not that he had moved there, but that his company was providing like long-term housing while he worked on this merger and acquisition.
Did you know if he had moved to Pennsylvania at some point after his Delaware trip?
I don't think he ever like permanently moved to Pennsylvania. He stayed at Airbnbs in Pennsylvania when he was visiting me.
Let me be more clear.
Okay.
Was he staying in Pennsylvania in some location at some point while the time period from December forward? in
Yes.
2022?
From December forward, to my knowledge, and he was spending the work time in Delaware, and then he would spend some weekends in Pennsylvania,
Okay.
like when he wasn't working in Delaware.
Okay. So as far as you knew, he was commuting basically from Delaware and staying back at the Airbnb in Pennsylvania.
Yes, that was my understanding.
Okay. And when that was occurring, would it be fair to say what months?
I met him in December. It would have been, the last half of December,
Okay.
January, February, March, April of 2023, and then that first half or so of May 2023 until the day he was arrested.
Okay. So during all that time, you weren't living together.
No, we were not. We never moved in together. We did stay at the same Airbnbs that he rented together.
Okay. And at that point, you said that the relationship grew and it became a romantic relationship, correct?
Yes.
Did there come a time when
Is she saying that? Wait, is she saying they never lived together even after they were married? Hold on. Is that what she's saying?
It would have been, the last half of December,
Okay.
January, February, March, April of 2023, and then that first half or so of May 2023 until the day he was arrested.
Okay. So during all that time, you weren't living together.
No, we were not. We never moved in together. We did stay.
Interesting. You guys, how often does that happen? I understand if it's like you're a married couple and you're like living together and then, somebody has to go and work, overseas or whatever for an extended period. Completely different. But to get married and never move in together, like what? It's like, can you imagine that? It's like you get married, it's like you have your wedding and maybe you have a honeymoon, although I guess they don't have a honeymoon, but you get married and then it's like, they get done with the wedding. It's like, all right, see ya, bye. And you go your separate ways to your separate houses. I just can't picture it at all. Like, this is just right with the red flags. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a red flag emoji. That's amazing. I need to be using that. I mean, what? I'm still just like, you never hear of that, right? Like, it's usually it's like with married couples, typically they want to be living together. And then if they're not living together, it's like because of work, but like they were living together and then they're going to live together after. And like, not just that they chose to never move in together as a married couple. I can't figure it. Add to the list.
At the same Airbnbs that he rented together.
Okay. And at that point, you said that the relationship grew and it became a romantic relationship, correct?
Yes.
Did there come a time when he described to you the process of moving and what had happened with his belongings?
Oh boy.
Yes, he told it like an anecdote in Twitter direct messages, I believe, about how he had moved previously, and some of his things I think were water damaged in a moving pod, like a storage pod.
Okay, I'm now going to turn to 1.96. Would it be fair to say that sometime in early November you were talking about your move with him?
Yes.
Okay, and that's when he made the quip about his belongings?
Yes.
So I'm directing your attention to exhibit 1.96, the paragraph that states, I highly recommend putting 85% of your belongings in a pod for a year that is defective and not actually watertight if you want help downsizing. Is that what you were referring to?
Yes.
And as a result of that, did you believe that he just didn't have a lot of things?
I believe that some of his things had been damaged. I don't know that I had a real like image of how many things he had at that point.
Right.
But that he had lost things. Yeah.
Quite a bit. Okay. Now,
Yeah, I think you're right on this one too.
those conversations and those tweets at the time, would it be fair to say that they were pretty innocuous? You didn't think very much about any of it, other than just banter?
Yeah, I'd say from that first message in September through October, and you can even notice in October sometimes there's gaps in days where like before I would respond, and probably even the first part of November, it felt very, very light, and then it picked up frequency, and I'd say emotional resonance. Yeah.
Okay. And at some point,
And again, like I was saying at the beginning of her testimony, how she sees the red flags, but he gets past them. To your point, JJ, I think you're 100% right. Like, you could tell she got triggered by that letter, the employment letter, because the prosecutor was like, cut the screen off, like to the, was saying that to like the, the court clerk who was like helping out or whatever, like, cut that off. Like, she was getting triggered by that. Just as an example, because that, like, so essentially, I think you're 100% right. Like, that she was seeing the red flags, right? So in other words, it's like, perhaps with like Mindy's parents, they weren't seeing the red flags. So he tests it out, tests the waters. They're fine. They believe anything he says, literally. But then you got her, right? You chuck her that clearly fake employment letter. And I think it's a little bit of a different situation where he maybe he knows that she's got the red flags, but the goal, it's like you could have one goal with like the parents, right? Is like, okay, they don't even have sensors for red flags, great. But then it's like with this wife, it's like, okay, maybe she's going to have red flags, but that doesn't matter. All that matters, can I get past the red flags, right? And like that employment letter would be like, all right, she's not listening to her gut. I'm getting past her red flags. That means I'm in. You know what I mean? To manipulate. So yeah.
Did he talk to you about his work and moving and things of that nature?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to direct you to slide number 20. That for you would be 1.97.
Oh my God, these essays though.
Would it be fair to that some of these?
Oh, dude, I was right. The stolen baby. I was right. And whoever else it was that was saying too, like, look, he's like, I saw DNA. That's what made me freak out, because I was like, there it is. He was laying the groundwork for the stolen baby story. Yeah, there it is.
Not very personal.
Here he
Yes. Can you tell us what he told you about his upbringing?
He told me that he had a very horrible upbringing, that he was abused. Should I tell you just?
I mean, I guess why not add that into the mix, right? It's like one of the only things he has not claimed yet in this entire saga. I guess we have to just throw that in. Jesus.
On this, or what he told me in general?
I'm just referring to
just this, that he had a bad abusive upbringing, and that he found out late in life, like as an adult, that he had been adopted, and that his parents, who he thought were his parents, were not his actual like biological parents.
Did you believe that?
Yes.
His biological parents are in the courtroom sitting somewhat behind him, by the way. He attended every day of the trial.
Now, in the weeks coming up to him visiting you in December, were there communications?
Yes.
I'm going to turn your attention to slide exhibit 1.98.
Mm-hmm.
This is slide 22. Do you see where he references in the second paragraph? I'm trying to get a bit ahead on work so I can spend the next few weeks traveling. Did he indicate to you exactly where he planned on going? You can read that to us if that makes it easier.
See, he said, I'm trying to get a bit ahead on work so I can spend the next few weeks traveling. I'll still be working, but like to have a little built-in cushion on projects and dealing with the vagaries of Wi-Fi on the road. Going to spend this weekend in Virginia, then New York, then on to New England until after Thanksgiving. So hopefully going to spend a little time poking around and see how a few spots feel in terms of life there. Seems like a better use of my time than the 45 Zillow emails I wake up to every morning.
So was your understanding that in the weeks leading up to this email or text on November 8th, that he was traveling?
That is correct. And this would have been far before the Missouri trip, he told me. And he told me, I don't know about like what he was doing in these places, but he did say that he met with one of his his biological father's lawyers during this time, I think was something he said in terms of that trip.
So at this point, you didn't have any reason to believe that he was homebound and couldn't leave his residence, right?
No.
I'm turning your attention to slide number 1.99. Would it be fair to say that this is also in November?
Yes.
Okay. And these are all leading up to the time period when he was coming to visit you? Or, well, I should say, when you were developing a relationship?
Yes. At this time, he had never, we were not even talking about, we had not talked about the visit that I can remember.
Okay.
That didn't come until December.
Okay. So on November 10th, that last paragraph, can you read that for us?
Tomorrow, so I had asked when do you leave in the previous message, and he says tomorrow afternoon, going to get on the road a little early and hopefully miss the traffic. I always say that I'm going to sit down and come up with a list of things I need to pack and just save it so I can print it out every time and have the basic things figured, but I never have managed.
So as far as you knew, on November 10th, he told you he was going to be going on a road trip November 11th of 2022.
Yes, that's correct.
And still at that point, he never told you that he was unable to leave his residence, correct?
No, he never said he was unable to leave any residence.
Okay. Now, during your relationship, you indicated that at some point you shifted to some phone communication. Is that
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
Did you ever use something called Signal app?
We did not use the Signal app to communicate.
Okay. Are you familiar with it?
I am. Mhm.
Okay. But you didn't use that.
We didn't use it to communicate, no. And I didn't use it at that time, no.
What about Proton email?
I knew he used Proton email because I think I saw it on some of the emails.
Proton, man.
I did not use Proton email. I
didn't.
had actually, I didn't even know about Proton email until I saw it like in one of his emails, like I don't remember what you call that. But
My experience with Proton is it's only involved in murder trials. I only know of it from the first time I heard of it, like I was saying this last night, first time I ever heard of it was in the Zachary Hughes trial. And that was the first and only time until this trial. And now it makes it twice.
Yeah.
But he didn't require you to use that with him?
No.
Can you tell the jury, in late November, when you and he had just started talking, did anything happen to your vehicle?
Yes.
Tell the jury what happened.
I had a flat tire on my
Okay.
car in November.
Okay. And did that prove to be problematic in any way?
I mean, just as problematic as a flat tire, would be to anyone. I was
Okay.
moving, and
Oh my God.
it definitely was like a hassle, yeah.
Timing not so convenient.
Okay. Oh my God, that pause. I'm going to pause it here, and here's why. I have a lot of thoughts about this whole flat tire situation. And again, MURDAUGH, remnants of MURDAUGH here. Like with MURDAUGH, we had the house on Holly Street burning down. And my opinion is that was a house fire started by Alex. We have in here, it's Nick setting fire to his own vehicle. And then we've got the whole thing with the flat tires and the doing it to yourself, but pretending like you didn't type thing, which is what my impression was of this when I heard it, as I was working and stuff. So we'll see what it's like. But I got so many flashbacks to MURDAUGH, but also I have a lot to say about the nature of people that are, gaslighters and manipulators and how this is a whole thing, in my opinion, of what he's doing with the flat tire thing. And it hurts you out. She tests, again, this trial flew by, right? The witnesses, even the crucial witnesses like the mom and the dad, they were only on the stand for 30, 40 minutes. So I was just looking because wife number 3, in other trials, an hour long of testimony would be short, right? But here, this is actually quite long compared to the other witnesses. So we're like just about halfway through, a little over halfway through her testimony. So we're going to save. So what we'll do for next time, we will finish her testimony. And let me see, who do we have after that? I think after that, now I've got some other witnesses saved, but I don't know that I don't know. Because basically, if we don't, like the other ones that I have saved, I've got the forensic pathologist or the medical examiner rather. And I've got the cell phone dude from the FBI. And then there's the detective, and then there was a whole day where they watched all of his interrogations, right? And I was like, well, do we want to watch his interrogations? It's obviously yes, but then I'm like, oh, but dude, the interrogation alone is hours, right? And I'm like, this, I'm trying to anyways. So I don't know. So basically, the thing is I feel like if I start being okay, yeah, well, we got to watch the Amin, we got to watch the, the cell dude, and we got to watch the interrogations. It's well, then now we're getting into the territory where it's well, we're watching the entire trial. You know what I mean? So I'm okay, if I'm going to be skipping witnesses. So basically, if I stick to the original plan, which is just hitting the ones that are maybe less important in terms of the investigation or less important in terms of the case and the death, But more important in terms of like the overall insanity and character of this entire trial and this defendant, if we stick with that plan, then after we finish with wife number 3, we would have wife number 1. And then I think there's like a couple different friends that I think have a couple important things to say that are short. But then after that, we get to the defendant taking the stand. So that's what I think. So in other words, if I stick to the original plan, then essentially tomorrow we will finish her testimony, and we will the other testimonies are all short up until, from what I had initially planned, they're all short up until we get to the defendant. So in other words, if I stick to the original plan, tomorrow we could be watching the defendant taking the stand, basically, is my point, right? Because we can wrap up with those other witnesses and then get to him taking the stand. So anyways, that's just me thinking this through. Of course, we have other things too, like all the new stuff that the new documents that came out. I got to go through those and see for Idaho. But anyways, so yeah, just watch The Wife, right? I know, right? It's like the investigation was done really well from everything I understand. I've seen bits and pieces of the actual, the agents and stuff, and apparently that's, this was a very well done investigation. There's no fuckery. Anyways, there's cases where it's like, there's cases where it's like, you're really trying to figure out like, okay, does this make sense? Like, does this add up? You're really trying to get to like, is this beyond reasonable doubt? But like with this case, right, some of that stuff, it's just like, it's like, it's almost like you could be like, it's not necessary. Of course it's necessary, but I'm being facetious, but it's like, dude, like in opening statements, I commented last night, in opening statements, this prosecutor makes the same type of face several times to the jury. And that's the sentiment that I'm referencing. Her face says it all. Her face is like the face. And again, I don't know how to describe it. The face is saying exactly what I was just describing, where it's like, even when it's just funny, right? It's just funny. It's like a case comes along and it's like, dude, I think we're all there. I think we're all guilty, right? And I mean, an hour and 17 minutes of deliberations. So yeah. Anyways, point being that this case would be in the minority, in my opinion, of cases where it's less important to actually watch, the FBI agents and like the Emmy and like what I mean? Normally those would be the most important in a trial, which leaves you with the friends, the family members, and the wives, essentially, right? To JJ's point. So, yeah, that's a good point. Good idea there, saving the interrogations for after his testimony. And that's true. The interrogations were repeated. Yeah, I feel like it seems like what they did was they like listened to the whole thing on audio and then they watched it on video. And that was my impression. I don't know why they would do that, but basically it's like, why would they do it twice? But yeah, if this was a movie, I could see it being framed from each wife's point of view. Yeah, like that. Wasn't that a movie or a musical like with Henry VIII's wives? I forget what. I never saw it. I just heard of it. I don't even know what it's called. But yeah, 100%. I could see that as well. Good night, ABCs. Yeah, starting with part 1. And the other thing too is that these are, again, I've got live streams as y'all know, many of that are 8, 10, 12 hours long. Part 1 is like 2 hours. Timestamps are done or almost done. This one's going to be around 2 hours as well. So totally manageable to get caught up. For anyone who missed part 1, totally doable. I would imagine to get caught up before we carry on. So it looks like if we stick to the original plan, we'll probably be doing this entire thing in like 3 installments, maybe 4, depending on if we watch the interrogation. So yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. 6. Yeah. I don't know. I never saw it. I just remember hearing about it. And it's funny. I don't know how I missed it, right? Because like I have a musical theater background and Tudor England is my favorite time period in history. And I'm a medieval and Renaissance absolute nerd. So it's like that I don't know how I missed it. I must have been too busy practicing, violin. And anyways, seems like I should have seen that. Yeah. So anyways, that'll be it for this one, guys. And yeah, this is it is a really good one. And let all your friends know, right? For anyone who's like, I mean, this really flew under the radar, this trial did. I think people are just sort of now you know, being like, wait, hold on, wait, what, you know, but like it really flew under the radar, and it's a really good trial, and it's insane. So, and I have to just say one real quick in terms of the investigation, it is really, it is a what's the right word? It's a pleasant surprise. It is a welcomed rarity, right? When you've got a trial where the investigation was done so thoroughly that there's parts of it that aren't even worth watching. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to even be able to say that, it's like, wow, you know what I mean? What a departure from what we see in so many of these cases. It's like the complete opposite in terms of the quality of the investigation and the way it was conducted and all that. So, anyways, but yeah, and there's Happy Annie. Happy to see you. Hey, are you okay? Did you have to evacuate? Are you still with us, safe and secure? For anyone who doesn't know, they've got the wildfires going out there. I think Happy Annie said it's the second worst on Vancouver Island history. Please stay safe. And you're welcome for the stream. Yep. So yeah, and of course I already do have a playlist as well for this. However many installments it ends up being, whether it's 3 or 4 or whatever. I do have a playlist. I went ahead and made a playlist, of course, as well for this trial. So you can find the link to the playlist in the video's description, which right now has 1 video, but after this finishes, there will be 2. And yeah. So anyways, still on alert, raining ashes. Oh my God. I'm so sorry. That's horrible. I can't even fathom that. That seems so like apocalyptic. I hope that you are okay and stay safe. Is there like a time frame in which they're like, well, if it goes past this time frame and like does the fire pass? I don't even know. Like, is it the type of thing where it's like at a certain point in time, it's like if you haven't evacuated, you're probably in the clear. That's just me being optimistic. I don't know if that's how wildfires work at all or not, because, you know, I don't live anywhere where those happen. But it would be great if it's like, all right, we just get past this number of hours and then it's like, you know, we're in the clear. For those of us who are going to be worrying about Happy Annie, it would be nice to be like, okay. And I don't know what happened to Twiz. Also, he was here very briefly. He's going to be, of all the people, he's going to be the one who's the most like behind on like, you know, I think he learned who the defendant was on this one. And like, okay, that's progress, I guess. And I think that's about all he got. So anyways. Gotcha. Well, I'll be thinking about you, Happy Annie. I'll be sending you all the positive scroll vibes. I'll be thinking about you. I'm sure everyone else will as well. They can be very unpredictable. Ugh. I hate it. I think I saw that you commented earlier. I think that you said you have like your car ready to go or your stuff's already packed. So I guess that's a good thing. I hate that you have to do that in the first place, but you're prepared. I mean, ugh. Terrible. But yeah, everybody stay safe out there, wherever you are and whatever the circumstance. If you also, again, I think with this witness, we can all say, you know, again, it's one thing if you don't notice the red flags, but if you notice the red flags, listen to your instinct, right? I mean, that's what went on here. And don't let somebody like this defendant, you know, just plow right over that, which he did. And, you know, listen to your gut and, you know, that's one way you can also stay safe. And yeah, other than that, I love you guys. Y'all are the best. We'll be back together. Again, I think I'll be able to go live tomorrow, hopefully, and we can continue on. But y'all are awesome. And there's Kevin. Hi, Kevin. One of our new squirrel friends. Don't be a sucker. Yep, that's another way to put it for sure. May leave tomorrow for a few days just to calm. Yeah, I mean, that's what yeah. Is there any reason why you didn't do that already? Like, is there any reason to actually stay? I mean, I guess I kind of, yeah, if you can leave, like, it seems like that would be the thing to do, you know? To calm your nerves, but also for safety purposes, you know what I mean? Like, no reason to stay there, right? But yeah, love you guys, and I love all the new squirrel friends as well. It's awesome. Totally happy to have y'all here. Hopefully you guys can see Squirrel Crew is a really awesome, supportive place with people that are all very different, but everybody's got a good brain, a good head on their shoulders, and a good brain in their head on their shoulders, except for maybe me right now. So anyways, okay, yeah, you've got 6 days off from your job. Well, there you go. Yeah. And then better air quality. I was thinking the same thing too. That's what I would be thinking about for sure for me. So yeah, keep us posted. And hopefully if you do decide to leave, you can go somewhere that's nice, like, enjoyable, not just like the next town over if it's less, fiery, right? Hopefully you can actually have like, take it like a mini vacation or what have you. But yep. All right, guys, we will reconvene. I love y'all. Happy squirreling. Stay safe. And for this squirrel, it's squirrel out.